Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so Skip, Shannon, let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
Hi, Jenny.
Yeah, Jen, how you doing? Can't beat them, join them, huh, Skip?
So you went with your Skip look today, and you know what? For once, it looks sharp.
Nah, I feel so plain.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, then why'd you do it?
Is that what it is?
Because I was rushed this morning.
Imitation.
Why were you
the
rushed?
sincerest form of flattery. That's what they say.
It is, Skip.
No.
Why were you rushed? We get here at 4 a.m.
I was rushed because I caught you eating something in your dressing room. You care to share?
It was a brownie disguised as a muffin.
Wait a
it's
second.
fine. I'm the one who has fun on this show and eats whatever I want.
No, I was at the
He was just checking in, make sure I was prepared.
Yes.
Slipped right out.
I know that no one around here is having brownies other than me, but I feel great and I've got a lot of
You've had
energy
one, too.
and sugar. So we have a great show for you today. The Chargers need to start planning for life after Phillip Rivers. And why is Tom Brady so frustrated? He is not happy, Tom, anymore. And are we ready to crown Luka Doncic yet?
Luka.
But first, we're going to start with Skip's Cowboys, who are coming off a big win against the Lions despite only 45 rushing yards from Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke has underwhelmed this year after getting his big payday before the season started. Elliott is not in the top 5 in rushing touchdowns or rushing yards through the first 11 weeks of the season for the first time in his career. So, Shannon, how do you explain what has happened to Ezekiel Elliott?
I still believe that Zeke is a top-tier back. I just believe that teams are saying, basically, Skip, in order for the Cowboys to reach their ultimate destination, you're going to have to see more of Dak Prescott doing what he's doing. Because I still believe that teams, you can go back to analytics and just like the analytics that all these pro football focuses and everybody else use, these teams have stats and analytic guys also. And the analytics and stats show is that when you neutralize Zeke, that increases your opportunity or your chances to win against the Cowboys. Now, what we've seen is that teams have started to take Zeke away, and Dak is playing better. But he's going to have to do that for an extended period of time because since Zeke has gotten into the league, they've been run first. When Zeke run well, they win. And so Dak, you're going to have to see more of what we've seen from Dak against the last team, Detroit, in order for them to be successful moving down the road. Skip, look, when you look at these stats and they say Zeke is 24th, Skip, they factor in guys that's getting 5, because all you have to do is average like a little over 6 carries a game. Zeke, of the guys that are workhorse backs, the Leonard Fournettes, the Christian McCaffreys, the Carlos Hyde, the Chubb, the Zeke Elliott, Skip, he's like 9th. He's like 4.3. Now, unless you're Barry Sanders or Jim Brown, 4.3 you laugh at. Those guys was around 5. Everybody else that's in the 4.3, that's a damn good rushing average. Skip, you remember he was just slightly over that the year he got suspended and still led the league in yards per game. So that's where he is now. Last year he had 6 rushing touchdowns. This year he's already at 7. That's pretty good, isn't it, Skip? You like Tubbs, right? You don't like that? Okay.
I don't. The most overrated stat in football, except in fantasy football, is the 1-yard touchdown.
I remember that next time you say when Tom Brady has 3 of those on his resume in a football game. I remember you said that.
I never brag
Yeah,
about
you do.
those.
Yeah, you do. Skip, look. Zeke is a bell cow back, but he doesn't have, and I think what you've been seduced with, you see Christian McCaffrey, you see Saquon, they bang, bang, bang. Next thing you know, they're off 50. They're off 60 yards. Skip, that's really never been Zeke since he's been in the NFL. As I said, his rookie year, he had 4 runs or catches of 40 yards or more, and then he went 1. Right now, he's currently at 0. So when you really look at it, I think you keep going back to what he was at Ohio State. I haven't seen that since he's been in the league. Now, I've seen the guy that rushed for 1,600 yards his rookie year and was on pace to probably do that or a little better his second year, led the league in rushing. But, Skip, it's a big deal now. You just don't lead the league in rushing every single year. And I think people are starting to have a false sense that, okay, he led the league in rushing his first 2 years. He just got a new contract, so just do it again. Eric Dickerson did not lead the league in rushing every single year. Only Jim Brown did, or seemingly. I think he led it like 8 of the 9 years that he was in the league. But
Shannon, he's 8th in yards rushing this year. 8th.
Oh, Skip. Do you know how many running backs there is? There are 32 teams. So I'm not concerned. And because, as Jason Garrett said, you see they still stacking the line. The week before, Jerry Jones says everybody and their mama knew that the Minnesota Vikings were not going to let Zeke Elliott run. So that's where you are. And if you're going to, if you, Skip Bayless, if your guy's what you said he is, Zeke should be inconsequential. You don't even need, as a matter of fact, bench Zeke and start Tony Pollard. That's what you should do if you're so confident Zeke is such trash and washed up like you said. Put Tony Pollard in the game.
So I'm going to repeat what your opening remark was.
Yes.
But I'm going to preface it by reminding everyone Ezekiel Elliott is now by far the highest paid running back in this game. Ezekiel Elliott just got $50 guaranteed million to sign. You can't take it back. You can't cut it. You can't get rid of it.
No.
50 locked in for Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay.
And you just said, I still think he's a top-tier back.
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Talk about damning with faint praise.
No, I still believe he's
You know what?
back.
I've been saying this for a month, and I'm going to double down right here, right now, because I am not seeing what you're talking about. And just to qualify myself, you're in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but I learned my football from Bill Walsh and Tom Landry and Jimmy Johnson and even Barry Switzer, who perfected the college wishbone and was as great at gearing the running attack as anybody I've ever seen. So I know a little bit about what to see and not see on a football field. And I am not seeing that this is about 8 men in the box or defenses geared to stop Ezekiel Elliott. Because I'm going to remind you, Zeke led the league in rushing as a rookie when all they were doing was putting 9 men in the box to stop Ezekiel Elliott because nobody thought Dak Prescott could throw it a bit when he was a rookie.
Right.
All he did was win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but maybe it was just because of Zeke. Then in Zeke's second year, he led the whole league in yards per game, but he couldn't lead it in rushing. He would have, but he got suspended for 6 games.
Correct.
Then his third year, which was last year, he led the whole league in yards rushing. He dominated this league for 3 years against defensive coordinators who made Zeke the #1 priority. Nothing has changed. In fact, I believe that I saw the Detroit Lions, who ranked 26th against the run going into the game, I saw them backing off. I was trying to count men in the box as best I could from TV, which is always a little hard to do because it flashes here and there.
Right.
But I didn't see that much 8 in the box because I saw a Detroit defense just playing straight, just playing coverage because it is clear they have now morphed the Dallas Cowboys into a passing football team.
Well, Skip, to your point, if you're telling me that that teams are going to play Zeke with coverage and not drop that 8th guy in the box, well, then maybe, yeah, it's over.
Okay, all right. So something, which I'm about to get to, is very wrong with this Zeke because he looks very different to my eye. And look, I hope I'm wrong about this. I can't tell you because week after week I keep saying, okay, this is the bust-out game. This is the one where he just bounces back and says, I'm still Ezekiel Elliott. And all I see is that the $50 million man is giving us a lot of, by his standards, 50-cent games because those last 2 games are 50-cent games.
Well, you know Minnesota.
Okay, that's 20 for 47 against Minnesota. And we know what happened at the end of the game when I believe Jason Garrett said, put the ball in Zeke's hands.
We do.
2nd and 2 from the 11. Zeke. Nowhere. 2nd 2, 3rd and 2 from the 11. Zeke, -3. Then throw it to Zeke on 4th down, incomplete. I hope you were right about this, that he's still Ezekiel Elliott, but this is what I'm not seeing from him. I'm not seeing him attack defenses with that rare athletic arrogance he used to have in the first 3 years, in which his body language said, I'm just better than y'all, you know what. You know what the word is, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's what he said. I saw a guy who played with contagious rage that turned into this sort of runaway joy when he kept reaching the end zone, in which he jumped in the Salvation Army pot, or the whatever you call it.
Kettle.
Kettle, yeah. And I used to see a guy who would just explode up into the defense with the greatest body lean I've ever seen of any back ever, Jim Brown, anybody, Eric Dickerson, just just fierce body lean where he exploded with some burst up into the defense.
Okay.
Was he an all-time breakaway back? Well, he ran 4.4 at the combine.
Right.
That's pretty fast.
Right.
That's fast enough to be a breakaway back. And now I don't see that anymore because you look at what he's doing. In 10-plus yards of rushes this year, going for 10 or more, he's 8th. And in 20-plus yard rushes, he's tied for 32nd. He doesn't break away anymore.
No, but Skip, he never broke away since he's been in the NFL. Okay. Like I said, you got seduced by looking at especially the last 4 games of his sophomore season, where he went to Michigan, Big Ten, Alabama, and Oregon. Yeah. But he's not been that since he's been in the league.
So here's what, and again, I'm a psycho Cowboy fan, and I take it way too seriously and sometimes personally, but I live and die for these games, and so I'm all over it. I'm just absorbing every little nuance of the game. Okay. So what did I see against the 26th defense against the run, the Lions defense? They ran Zeke on first down 11 times in that game.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a lot of first down runs that are going nowhere. And I'm like pulling my hair out. I'm pacing my floor because what happened on the first one? It went for 1 yard and he fumbled. Okay. So I'll give him an occasional fumble. But he went 11 times. It averaged 3 yards a carry, which is not good enough. In the last 4 runs, when you're trying to kill the clock and keep the ball away from Jeff Driscoll, I'm sorry I'm saying this publicly, but they could not stop Jeff Driscoll. So the last 4 runs to Zeke, they try to feed the beast, eat Zeke, kill the clock. They go for 2 yards, 2 yards, 1 yard, and 0 yards. And if we could see the very last Zeke carry, because this is the one where you're backed up, 1st and 10 at your 13, and they give it to Zeke to kill the clock, and that's a 0-yard gain.
Skip, look at his offensive lineman. Okay. Look at the line of scrimmage.
Okay, well, help me out.
But that's
so that came, then the next play, they play action to Blake Jarwin, we all call Shannon Jarwin, and he gets 23 yards, and it kills the clock.
And guess why he got that? Because they were so hell-bent on stopping Zeke Elliott.
Okay, what was I saying in my little living room? I'm saying feed the beast. I wanted to see him go 3 straight carries for a first down. And the clock runs and runs because there's 1:54 left when they started the series.
Right.
Okay, so I couldn't even see him run to kill the clock. Okay, so now we're down to what's wrong here? What's happening? Is it the offensive line? Have they just turned into a pretty good pass blocking line, but a bad run blocking line? Well, you want to discredit them? Well, should you blame them?
I mean, if you look at some of the games, you see the defensive line resetting the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
They're resetting the line of scrimmage.
So again, you want to talk about overpaid. You can go across the line. They are all locked in with huge contracts.
Yes.
Across the ball.
Yes.
All 5 of them.
Yes.
And are you telling me that they just can't open the same holes that they used to? Because we saw Zeke get loose one time this year, and it was at the Giants.
Right.
And what did he say after the game? Biggest holes I've ever had in my career dating back to Pop Warner.
Right.
So every time I looked up against the Giants, it was just open space, like lots of green carpet.
Yeah.
And he's just running up the green carpet like he's in his living room, right?
Yep.
Okay, so is it the offensive line or is it the Earl Campbell syndrome? Because a month ago I started comparing Zeke to Earl Campbell, as much fullback as halfback or running back, right? But there's also another downside to Earl Campbell syndrome, and that is you just taking too many hits.
Yeah, short shelf.
Okay, did in 3 years, because what's the old cliche about the average running back lasts 3.2 years?
Actually, it's a little less than 2 now. It's like 2.7 for a running back.
Okay, so did his shelf life expire just as Jerry gave him $50 million guaranteed? Is that possible?
I know Jerry hope not. Skip, for me, I can only remember one back, and I could be wrong, that ran to contact but still had breakaway speed, and that was Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson ran to contact,
I'll give you that.
And he could still go 60, 80.
Yeah.
But we don't see...
And Adrian has lasted a long time, given his proclivity for running to contact.
But Skip, that's a freak of nature.
Okay.
You remember the guy tore his ACL in December and then comes back the next year and was like 8-9 yards short of breaking ED's record? The guy went for 2,097 with Christian Ponder as his quarterback. Skip, I just think the thing is, look, I was in a situation like when TD got to Denver, everybody knew what John Elway could do because he had taken a team to Super Bowls 3 times. He was an MVP. But we had this unheralded back. And teams, for whatever reason, he went from 1,100 to 1,500 to 1,700 to 2,000. And they still did not believe that TD could beat them running the football. Now, as we got later in his career, they're like, nah. And we would need John to throw for 300 in order for us to win games. But for whatever reason, they thought That's John Elway, because that's still John Elway back there. Well, people look at Zeke, and maybe he is slowing down. I don't believe so. But teams look at him and say, that's still Ezekiel Elliott. We want to make the other guy, because we know what he can do. And you remember last year when they played Detroit, Zeke went wild. He had, like 80 yards receiving. I think he had like another 130 or 140-something rushing, Skip.
Well, he caught the big pass at the end of the game.
Right.
On the wheel route that won the game.
And so Matt Patricia said, no, we're not having a situation like this again.
Okay.
Dak, if you throw for 400 and beat us, and guess what Dak did? Threw for 400 and beat him.
4-4-4. So, next issue. My man Zeke, and I do love my man Zeke, but he's had a whole bunch of off-field issues. Is there something going on off the field we don't know about? Has he been involved in some other controversy? I don't know what it is because not a peep of this has been reported. I'm just throwing out possibilities here because if we just do the on-field, is he hurt? He hasn't been on an injury report.
Right.
I don't know about a hamstring. I don't know about a groin. I don't know about a foot. I don't know about anything.
Right.
So he's not been listed and nobody talks about it. And he doesn't look like he's hurt. He just looks like he's plodding in Cabo sand. He looks slow to me, and I don't know why. Okay, so is there an off-field issue, which leads to this? This is my greatest fear about Ezekiel Elliott. Is it possible, and you have seen this happen before, that he finally got paid? He really got big paid.
Yeah.
And then he lost his edge. He lost his drive, just a touch, because all it takes is lose a little bit of your drive, your commitment,
Right.
your anger, whatever that thing is that drives you, where you soften up a little bit in your approach. It's not that big a deal, because not once after a game have I heard an angry Zeke about, this is not going to happen again.
Okay.
They're not going to stop me next time. I haven't heard a vow from him all year where after a practice at midweek, he says, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this, and I'm going to show you.
Well, if a team shut down TD didn't say anything. That was the offensive lineman. So
Terrell
that one
Davis.
Terrell Davis.
Yeah.
The offensive lineman, that was up to Stink and Zim and Tom Nalen. That was for them. That's on them.
Okay, well, I don't think he got shut down very often. Right?
He didn't get shut down very often, Skip. But I think if Dak keeps playing this way, they're going to start to have to play coverage even more, and then we'll see these holes start opening up. But I just believe, Skip, and like I said, they've seen what this guy can do for 3 years. The analytics says when Dak Prescott, when Zeke Elliott is held less than 75, they're winning whatever. So the analytics.
They're changing rapidly.
They are. So now when Dak continues, because Skip, it can't be isolated, it can't be a one-off.
Yeah.
Well, he did this one time, and then the next time we're going to find out. Because you best believe Bill Belichick will believe that Zeke Elliott is Zeke Elliott, and he would do everything he can to shut that run down. So we're going to see if your guy's what you said he is. Now, you telling me, had me out here giving A+.
You did.
Yeah.
Shocked me because I gave him a B.
Well, but you do know now, if you get an A++, and then you turn around and give me an F++, you know what that equals now. Okay, I'm just saying.
Just to drive my point home, just for the record, a year ago, through 10 games, Zeke had 3 fewer carries than he has right now. So his carries are going up this year. So you can't tell me that they've just decided, let's back off Zeke, let's feed the quarterback. Let's let the quarterback no, that's not what's happening. They're still feeding the beast. 194 carries to 191 through 10 games last year. But he averages, and you can throw in you can say that it's a phony number, but he averages 24th in the league in yards per carry, 8th in the league overall in rush yards. 2 + 2 equals 6 and 4. That's what it is. 6 and 4 record.
Here's the thing, though, Skip. But of the guys that average at least 15 carries a game, because like I said, there's some guys in there, like Lamar Jackson has the highest average, Skip, but he's only, look at the carries. I mean, he had 9 for 86. And quarterbacks normally, Skip, if they run, they're going to have high averages because, they're getting 10, 15, they get 10 yards here, 20 yards there, which bumps up their average. But of the bell cow backs, he's 9th. But so when you factor that in, Skip, he's better than what his numbers are showing. And I think the thing is that just his presence, sometimes just his presence being in the game, because I can assure you, Tony Pollard is not going to command the respect that Zeke Elliott does.
I would agree with you, but there was that stat I threw at you yesterday. 6 times Pollard has gotten 12 or more snaps in games, and they went 6-0 because it just gave him a little spark, a little life, a little pop of electricity, just a little voltage.
Well, yes, Skip, you can get that, Skip, because it's, 6 play, 12 plays, so he gets 3 runs.
And I'm not advocating to replace Zeke with Tony. I'm not. Sorry.
That guy is a bell cow.
Okay, well, I hope he turns back into. But speaking, you just mentioned running quarterbacks. Guess who's also paying for Zeke this year? Dak, as a runner, is paying for Zeke because through 10 games last year, Dak Prescott had run it 53 times. He's 33 through 10 this year.
Wow.
I think he can really run the football. There was one call play for him on Sunday in which he had the option to keep it on the read option, and he kept it and got 9 of the easiest yards you'll ever see and slid.
Right.
What did we see last year? Do you remember Thanksgiving last year against the Redskins? Do you remember the escape? I think we have this play. I just want to remind everybody how the quarterback can run and is not running anymore at all. This is against the Redskins, and he escapes that sack, and he ducks and dodges that sack, and he breaks up, and then he somersaults into the end zone, which is pretty athletic for 240, right?
Yeah, I think the thing is, Skip, for him is that what they're seeing is the maturation of Dak Prescott, and then eventually he's gonna get down where that 33 that you see now is gonna be 23, and the 10 games is gonna be 13 because Skip, he's elevated, he's starting to become more proficient at throwing the ball out of the pocket, and they want to get him away from.
But I would like to see a few blended in. Do you remember? Can we see the run real quick at the end of the Seattle playoff game? It won the game.
Yeah.
And it was a lot because it was 3rd and forever, and they ran the quarterback draw. Here it is up the middle. And he bangs through. He got all the way to the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
Okay, that he is highly capable of doing that, and they're just saying, no, not this year.
Well, here's the thing, Skip. Let's take Russell Wilson. Now, you remember when Russell, his first couple of years, they called a lot of design runs. Now, Russell still runs because of his capability, but they don't call as many runs as they did in the past because now he's proficient at throwing the football from the pocket. That's what your guy's graduating to, and that's what you hope. You hope to see, you know what? And he didn't force it. You know, some quarterbacks, we know a quarterback, we don't need to call his name. After 1 year, he wanted to be Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Dak Prescott said, you know what? My legs are still a valuable asset. I'm going to use them. But eventually, I'm going to graduate from this running mobile quarterback. I can still be mobile, but I believe I can stand tall and throw the ball from the pocket. That's where he's heading, Skip. And you should commend that because that'll add years to his career. Yeah, you know, quarterbacks that run often and early don't run long.
Okay, so now my team can't really run the ball and can't stop the run, which is a recipe for disaster down the stretch.
Yeah, because what if you...
And I'm going to ask this question one last time. Is it possible Jerry Jones blew it by giving Zeke Elliott $50 million guaranteed?
No, but what will cause a problem if you were fortunate enough, I still don't believe you're going to make the playoffs. If you can't stop the run and you get up to the slow starts that you guys are customary to get off, you know, they run the ball, you ain't going to get with so many possessions.
I don't love this.
Oh, I can tell.
Yeah.
I feel the frustration coming from you.
I just want to see. Your guy going to get an opportunity, Skip Bayless. He going to get an opportunity on Sunday. Now,
which guy?
This is
Dak Prescott.
Oh, my quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, up there.
Now, hey, I opened up a papa shop up there in Foxborough right next to the stadium.
You know what? Right now, Bill Belichick is saying, you know, what I do best is take away what you do best, so I'm going to take Dak Prescott away.
I know, he's going to talk about taking Zeke Elliott away.
No mercy.
Are you ready for what's ahead? You can't always predict the future, but you can game plan for it. Generations of families and businesses have harnessed the power of Pacific to help them reach their unique goals. Whether you need to save enough money to meet your needs, ensure your family is protected, or make sure you don't run out of money, Pacific Life has a variety of financial solutions that can help. Pacific Life counts more than half of the 100 largest U.S. companies as its clients and has been named one of the 2019 World's Most Ethical Companies by the Ethisphere Institute, protecting what matters most to people for 150 years and counting. That's the power of Pacific. Ask a financial professional about how Pacific Life can help you game plan for your future or visit www.pacificlife.com.
No mercy.
So the Chiefs beat the Chargers 24-17 last night in Mexico City. Patrick Mahomes looked mortal with only 182 yards and 1 touchdown. But on the other side of the ball, Philip Rivers had a night he'd probably like to forget, guys. Rivers tied his career high with 4 interceptions, including 1 in the end zone with 24 seconds left that sealed the victory for Kansas City. The loss put the Chargers at 4-7 and likely out of the playoff race. Rivers will be an unrestricted free agent this offseason. So, Shannon, is it time for the Chargers to move on from Philip Rivers?
Yes. Skip, for me, sports is really comes down to 2 things. Either you're an asset or you're a liability. Simple as that. Right now, Philip Rivers is a liability. If you look at, in their 7 losses, Skip, he has 14 turnovers. You remember the last time we saw Philip Rivers, it was a Thursday night. He threw a pick 6 to the Raiders. He threw another pick that set him up for a touchdown, and then he threw an interception to end the ball game. And what did he just do? When Kansas City couldn't get anything going. Now, there's one pick, Skip, the one that Honey Badger got him on. Honey Badger would have got almost every quarterback in the league because he faked the over and then he picked the end cut. So I give him that one. Philip, that one's on Honey Badger, made a heck of a play because sometimes the defense, they get played also. But there are several of those interceptions that are unacceptable. That one to end the game, what the hell was that? Did you not see that guy? Did you not see? There are a lot of guys on the field, Philip. And the guys that doesn't have on your colors, you can't throw them the ball and get a touchdown. You can, but it goes on their side. He threw one right down the middle. Honey Badger should have had another one, Skip. He threw a punt, and Honey Badger, I don't know what happened. As good a hands as he has.
Hit him right in the hands.
And he dropped it.
It was too easy.
It was too easy. Skip, all of their losses have come in with 1 score. Let that sink in. 1 score. And in those games, Philip Rivers has 14 turnovers, 4 interceptions. It's just, look, and I get it. And we keep talking about, Tom Brady's getting on up there in age. But guess who else is getting on up there in age, Skip? That guy. Now, he has a classmate that was taking a couple of slots before him that's already been assigned a seat on the bench. That's Eli Manning.
Yep.
He has another classmate that's on IR, Ben Roethlisberger, because of an elbow. May or may not be contributed to age. But Philip Rivers don't have a lifetime contract to start. I mean, what if he won that says, Philip Rivers gets to stay as long as he won? Yeah, he's compiled a lot of numbers, but Skip, he hasn't won the big game. I mean, remember he was 14-2? Now, you're like, well, Philip Rivers, yes, he did. Philip Rivers had LT, who's the MVP in his backfield, that's in the Hall of Fame, has a gold jacket like myself. He has a tight end, Antonio Gates, that the process started because he's not in the league this year. 4 years from now, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And you remember, Skip, they had that defense. They were 14-2. And they allowed the wild card Patriots to come to their home, kick their butts. That happened. So this notion that Philip Rivers hasn't had anything is not true. Philip Rivers has underperformed a lot in really big games. And what he's doing right now, I think the thing is why it won't happen, because the Chargers are going into a new building. And now their backup is Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into that new building with Philip Rivers or Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah.
And then, I'm looking at Phil, I'm like, what the hell are you seeing? Because I watched the game Thursday night, Skip. I'm like, Philip, this is all. I said, well, you know what? Maybe it's a one-off.
Yeah.
But I also watched him against the Broncos. And he turned the ball over at an alarming rate. He got 16 turnovers, 14 picks and 2 fumbles. Fumble last night, got it back. Skip, it's time for him to go take a seat. He got to go to the back of the class. I mean, you sitting in the front of the class, now it's time for you to go to the back. We ain't calling on you anymore for a while.
My turn. Before I get to Mr. Rivers and your opinion of Mr. Rivers, quick thought on Patrick Mahomes. He threw for a grand total in the first half of 63 yards passing.
Okay.
63 yards passing. If Dak Prescott ever in his life even thought about throwing for only 63 yards in the first half, I would never hear the end of it from across the table on Undisputed.
Yeah, but stop it.
Point of order.
Stop playing.
Patrick Mahomes.
I believe that.
63 yards passing.
How many general managers right now would take Dak Prescott over Mahomes, boy? How many?
You know what? It could be growing more than you think.
Skip, he still leads. You do realize he's still leading the league in passing yards per game. He missed 2.5 games. You know the only reason that Dak Prescott has more passing yards than Patrick Mahomes, boy, is because he sat it down for 2.5 games. But He gonna come back like gangbusters. I wouldn't be surprised if when it's all said and done, he's leading the league again.
Last night, Dak Prescott's lead in QBR over Patrick Mahomes grew a little bit because Patrick Mahomes had a 70. Not bad. I thought it was a little much, like it was a little over.
Oh, you thought it was generous. Oh, you thought it was generous.
Yeah,
okay,
I did.
I figured you
Generous.
would.
Yeah, but still, it's 82.0 to 79.7. Dak running away now with QBR.
Oh, he running away.
Way to go, Dak.
We'll see.
Now, back
Coach
to
Belichick,
Phillip Rivers.
Coach Belichick is the QBR killer, though.
So, last night in Mexico City, Phillip Rivers threw for almost twice as many yards as Mahomes boy threw for. Almost twice as many. That's hard to do, man. 353 to 182.
Yep.
But Shannon Sharpe says, go take a seat, right?
Yes.
Okay, I cannot defend the turnovers because there's only one bigger turnover machine now in pro football, and that's Jameis.
Oh, Jameis.
I mean, I just don't even know what's happened to him. I used to support him and defend him, but it's hard to defend him anymore.
You can't.
Because he's running away with the interception lead.
He got 18.
He got 18 to Phillip's 14. Phillip Rivers is simply the most confounding, perplexing, tormenting quarterback I have ever closely observed.
Yes.
Because he will have moments of greatness and moments of pathetic, like last night, where you just say, what are you doing? He has the greenest light to try everything possible to get that team over the hump, when a lot of times it doesn't need everything
necessary.
possible.
You're right.
But he will try anything at any moment. And the great irony last night was he was taking advantage of Daniel Sorensen as number 49. Where's 49? I'm going to throw it to his guy. Until the last play, when Sorensen's, I don't know what he is, 6'1"-ish, and little Austin Eckler's about, 5'8", maybe? What are you doing? What are you doing?
How did he even see him?
What are you doing? Because it was like Daniel Sorensen was primary on the play, right? Like you're throwing it to him. Maybe if you threw a rainbow to the very back corner, maybe little Austin could run under it at the end line. I don't know.
Right.
But it looked like Sorensen just was all over it. And he's so much bigger than little Austin Eckler. There's no way you're going to get the ball over him.
Right.
And the game just suddenly ended after Phillip had made the big throw to Mike Williams.
Right.
It was a little bit of a pass and a prayer into double coverage, but
that's what he get, because Williams did not get out of bounds. The guy touched him before he got out of bounds, and they stopped the clock.
They got a break.
Yes.
But Phillip can be pretty crazy clutch in some moments. And I'm going to remind everybody, it was just last December 13th, so it's been less than a year ago, on a Thursday night at Kansas City. Do you remember what happened at the end of the game? He went 60 yards in 8 plays and threw a touchdown pass to win it, and then goes for 2 and pulled that one off. And they pulled it out 29-28.
Yep.
Would you have sent him home after that game? No, obviously you wouldn't.
Skip, he has the big.
Okay, remember last year they went 12-4, went to Baltimore against a young rookie Lamar, and won the game.
After they had lost to Baltimore in L.A.
They had. And then, obviously, you know the rest of the story, because they then went to Foxborough, and that was the end of that deal.
Right.
But still, 12-4 was a pretty good year.
Right.
And so, to your point, they've lost 4 games by 7 points this year, 2 by 3 points, and 1 game by 2 points. So all 7 losses are close. They're all winnable games.
Yes.
But the reason they were in the games, you can credit Phillip for that. And the reason they lost the games, you can definitely blame him for that.
Right.
So I can't defend him, but I just have this nagging little voice in the back of my head. It's too soon. It's premature just to dismiss him completely, because he still has his moments. Just 3 weeks ago at home against Aaron Rodgers, he hugely outplayed Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
And they won 26-11. Well, we haven't seen any consistency like that.
Right.
But he gave you another glimpse of, I can still do that.
Well, I think it was a couple of years ago, Skip. I think he threw for 500 yards against Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau. So Skip, you don't throw for the amount of yards and have the amount of touchdowns. This was as talented a quarterback class, the 04 draft, is that we're seeing. It gets compared favorably to 83, the Marino Elway Kelly draft.
And there were times last night when they just went up and down the field.
Yes.
Up and down and up
But
and
see,
down.
that's what makes you so upset with him, because you see what he can be, and he just Eckler and Williams and Hunter, Hunter Henry, the tight end.
Yep.
I mean, he's going boom, 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 and then he thought, like, Phillip, what the hell?
Why know.
You just hit the other guy right in the chest for what? Skip, he didn't have to skip. He had plenty of time. Why would you throw it? What made you think that guy was open? There's nothing to hold a flat. Now, I can see Russell got fooled. Russell thought 57 was going to jump the guy in the flat, and he peeled back and picked it. Skip, there is nothing to hold a guy in the flat. So all he's going to just do receiving because he sees the running back coming up the rail. Phillip, you looking at him. You see 49 backpedaling, and you still throw it. I can see if the guy's 6'4", you're going to make it a jump ball, but you want a jump ball with a 6'1" DB versus a 5'7" running back.
That's what it was. Okay.
Well, unless the running back Spud Webb, I ain't throwing no jump ball to a 5'7" running back.
So, does Phillip Rivers have a shot to get in your Hall of Fame? I think he does.
I think he does, too.
Wow.
But I'm all about rings, and he ain't got one.
Yeah.
And he probably will go down as, you could argue, the best quarterback never to win a ring?
No, Marino.
Okay, well, I guess so.
yeah.
Except I think a Dan at least get it.
Well, you're talking about not
How
getting
about
there.
just get to it?
Okay. He, Warren, Skip, because here's the thing, like Marino has 104. I saw the stat he had on the screen last night. Marino has 147 wins without a Super Bowl. Fran Tarkenton has 124, and Phillip has 122.
22 and 97 losses. 5-6 in the postseason, got to the one AFC Championship game after he tore his ACL. So he played on a torn ACL at Foxborough with LaDainian Thomas.
And remember, Skip, when he tore that, he went to Indy.
Peyton, he outplayed him.
Yes.
He outplayed him. I mean, he's got guts.
But you don't want it to end like this.
Skip, this kind of, because guess what, Skip? This get coaches fired.
Yeah.
His play will get a coach fired.
Yeah.
Well, your friend who is the coach of that team,
I saw that tweet.
He had to be sick after that.
And plus you get punt returners catching the ball over their shoulder at the 2-yard line and fumbling it. Lucky they got it back. Maybe. But Lynn was like, bro, what you doing?
Yep.
Put your heels on the 10. If it goes over your head, they down it at the 1 or the 2, so be it. But you don't catch no ball over your... but see, when you start trying to play hero ball, everybody want to be a hero. I'm gonna catch it over my shoulder and go 92. No, you didn't. You like to gave up 7.
Maybe the altitude was the problem.
Yeah,
maybe
it does have an impact on your brain. You're thinking.
It truly is.
But hello, hold on. He threw 3 interceptions below sea level. So what was that excuse?
There is no excuse there. I'm just trying to help the guy out. I've covered matches there, and it is a crazy difference.
They had that graphic on ESPN where it's like 10 times higher than Mile High.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's way different.
Because they trained in Colorado Springs. They were down in Colorado Springs for the week.
Unfortunately, maybe the age and there's a factor there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some research.
That's why I was great shape. I used to go down to Colorado Springs. No, I didn't.
Yeah, I'm sure you just fine. New England has only scored 3 touchdowns in the past 2 games, a fact that's not lost on Tom Brady, who expressed his concern on a weekly radio appearance yesterday. Take a listen.
It's just frustration with the offense, and we're just trying to grind them out. Happy we went on the road. At the same time, just wish we'd score more points. As crazy as it sounds, we're still kind of a relatively new, getting familiar with each other on offense. The strength of our team is our defense and our special teams. So on offense, we've just got to take advantage when we get opportunities and, understand where our strengths lie and try to play to them. Not give any short fields and not turn the ball over and try to take advantage when we get into the red area to score touchdowns. That's kind of where our offense is. That's kind of where our team is.
All right, Shannon, what does it tell you that Brady is expressing his frustration publicly?
Yeah, tell me a lot, Skip, baby. I mean, you say things privately, but to say that public, that you understand that your athletic mortality. Skip, baby, it's funny how me, even Tom Brady, can see what Pro Football Focus and Skip Bayless can't. He knew, Skip. It was reported that he became very, very upset when the Patriots let Antonio Brown go. Because he realized that he needed more pieces around him in order for him to continue to be the great player, be that guy that he wants to be. Because the hardest thing for great players, Skip, is to all of a sudden not be great anymore. That's tough. When you've been as great as long as he has, because trust me, he's been greater longer than he has not been great. But Tom Brady just can't carry an offense anymore, Skip Bayless. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I know a guy named Peyton Manning, went through the very same thing, didn't he, Skip Bayless? You remember that? Special teams and defense. Peyton Manning was a 5-time league MVP, had gone to 2 Super Bowls, had won 1, and was the MVP. Had all the... But at the end of the day, when it came down to it, they relied on Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware and D. Wolf and Aqib Talib and Chris Harris Jr. They relied on that and sound special teams to get to and to win a Super Bowl. And Tom Brady uttered it. And for the very first time, Skip Bayless, since they won that first Super Bowl, because that's what their formula was. Defense, special teams, Tom, guide us. What Peyton did, Skip, in the playoffs, every game, there were a few throws that needed to be made. And I'm not so sure Brock Osweiler could have made those throws. There were a couple of plays that Peyton Manning got out of a good play and got to a great play. Or got out of a bad play and got us to a play that didn't get negative yards, it got us back to the line of scrimmage. Well, Tom Brady is going to have to, that's the route, Skip, that he's going to have to go moving forward. But I tell you, I know a guy that doesn't give a damn about Pro Football Focus, analytics, or anything. Bill Belichick saw this a couple of years ago. He saw this.
Really?
Yeah.
And then he should have won 2 Super Bowls after he saw that.
Because you know what? He said, you see what that guy did Sunday? That guy Jimmy G? That's the guy. Because Skip Bayless came out here that Monday night. He came out here Tuesday and said, people at home, Bill Belichick wanted to play Tom Brady with Jimmy G. And then he said on Sunday, Coach Belichick said, you see what Coach Belichick said yesterday? He got back at Lane Johnson. Said it seemed like everybody was having fun out there. Because remember, Lane Johnson said, Patriots don't have any fun. I'd rather win a Super Bowl.
He said after the game.
Yeah. And Coach Belichick said, looked like everybody was having fun out there to me. Yo, Coach Belichick trolling.
By the way, the Jimmy G I saw on Sunday threw 2 red zone interceptions that almost lost a game to little Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals in San Francisco. That's what I saw.
I saw 424.
Be my guest. Please, San Francisco, give him back to Belichick and let him go forward and see how many he wins.
Yeah, I bet. Hold on.
See how quickly he misses the greatest quarterback who ever walked on a football field.
424.
Yeah.
That's what he had.
So I'm going to be objective about this before I get to the guts of what I'm about to say. I was disappointed last 2 days in Tom Brady.
Why?
Because these were rare glimpses of selfishness from him. Rare me-ism from Tom Brady that I rarely, if ever, seen.
I know, but I told you had it in him.
They did win the football game.
They did. In spite of him.
In spite of him.
In spite.
How many turnovers did he have?
None.
Oh, he had no turnovers.
How many touchdowns did he have?
So they scored enough, 17, right?
Yeah, Julian Edelman had a perfect QBR. I mean, a perfect quarterback rating.
Yeah.
Yeah, old Julius.
So I consider Tom Brady the greatest leader in sports today, and you can make a case he's the greatest leader ever. But I did not love his body language during the football game because I did not see that psycho Tom fire, that win at all costs, that however we have to grind it out, let's go. Let's go do it.
Yeah, what was that?
I wanted to see excitement after the game. I wanted to see a joy of victory at any cost. Whatever it took to grind it out, they ground it out. It's a big win. It's a nice win. Got them to 9-1. 9-1? Tom's hanging his head.
Well, because he know. It hurts, Skip. Skip, you got to understand. That's Tom bleeping Brady. And he's not Tom bleeping Brady right now. Okay. How do you handle that?
This is just me, but I believe something is going on behind the scenes. I believe, once again, Tom is at odds with Bill. The last time we saw Tom at odds with Bill was after that Super Bowl that Belichick blew for Tom Brady.
Stop saying that.
By not playing Malcolm Butler, by giving up 41 points to the Eagles' backup quarterback. And Brady was clearly steamed because he's liking all of Malcolm's posts the next day. And it was clear from a Jim Gray interview he did at a conference out here on the West Coast in Santa Monica, which happened in late April that year. Remember, Jim Gray asked him, do you feel appreciated? Do you feel they've given you the appropriate gratitude within the Patriot organization? And Brady said, I plead the fifth. Are you happy? Asked Jim Gray. And he said, I have my moments. Well, that's the same guy that we heard the last 24, 48 hours. That guy's not happy with what's going on internally. Now, that guy believes that his coach has not gotten him enough help on offense because this is a pathetic supporting cast around Tom Brady.
Why is it?
If I had thrown the great Patrick Mahomes, the reigning MVP, into that Patriot offense at Philly in the cold, gusty wind on Sunday, I promise you, Patrick Mahomes would have lost that game. He would have thrown 2 picks, maybe 3. I might go 3 there because it was a long, hard day with no protection and no running game. throwing to Jacoby Myers? Are you kidding me? So I'm going to drive this home to you. Tom Brady has now thrown to more receivers in a single season this year than he ever has in any season of his whole career. Why is that, Mr. Sharpe? Because he lost Gronk, and they tried to replace him with Matt LaCosse and Ryan Izzo, and both of them immediately got hurt.
Yeah.
So they had to call back Ben Watson, 38 years of age, you be the tight end. Then AB momentarily, Tom happy, Tom sad. And then Josh Gordon, Brady took him under his wing, and it looked like he was going to be a difference maker, and maybe for a little while he was. And then Belichick cut him, and you said he looks like he's running with the piano on his back.
He caught 2 good slants for 49ers, though.
N'Keal Harry, first-round pick, first time in New England. Bill Belichick took a receiver in the first round. Way to go, Bill. Hurt on IR all year. That was the first game he had played on Sunday. Tom Brady has thrown to 17 different receivers, including Gunnar Olszewski. Gunnar Olszewski is Tom Brady's having to throw to that? Jacoby Myers, undrafted free agent rookie out of North Carolina State. Are you kidding me?
He was a quarterback.
And the essence, he played quarterback.
Yeah.
Some, he also played receiver. But the essence of Sunday's frustration came down to a route fairly late in the game. It was second 11 from the New England 41 with 11:21 left in the game. They're up 17-10, trying to put it away. But here's Jacoby Myers, who Brady thinks is going to outcut, and he in-cuts. And Brady just looks up and just subtly just shakes his head like, what is going on? I'm having to throw it to Jacoby Myers, who went the wrong way. So Brady has made mention in the last 48 hours of, we're all still new to this.
Yeah.
Brady's a reps guy. Brady will go out after practice for another hour. If you want to catch more passes, I'll throw you more passes until we get on a wavelength. There's only one receiver. I could throw James White in, but really only one. It's sort of Julian Edelman or bust right now. Can you imagine Tom Brady last night watching that game from Mexico City and thinking, if you gave me Tyreek, if you gave me Kelsey is a monster.
Yes.
He is like 6'5" and can run and escape and run after catch and make athletic leaping catches.
Yep.
Well, he doesn't have that guy. Does he have he doesn't have Sammy Watkins. Does he have a Mecole Hardman? Mecole Hardman is just a little bursty bullet. Just
he can fly.
Right? Just flies.
But see, if Tom Brady had all those weapons, he wouldn't be Tom Brady. Because see, what you do is that when Tom Brady wins, it's all Tom. Now you're telling me because he's struggling, it's because of what Tom doesn't have. But when he wins with those same people, it's all Tom.
Okay,
well, you can't have it both ways.
You have to give him 2.5 seconds to throw because Marshall Newhouse is the left tackle on his 7th NFL team. He couldn't block anybody on Sunday. So Tom's having to escape the pocket, and he can't throw on the run. Never could throw on the run. They're having to roll him, or he's having to try to duck and run.
Pocket, yeah.
And it won't work. And he knows it won't work, so it's driving him crazy because he's down to his backup center and his like third string left tackle until Isaiah Wynn comes back at left tackle maybe for the Cowboy game. So it's driving him crazy. He's a raging perfectionist without any help around him.
Skip, when the realization, in your private moments, there are moments as my career started to wane down, it dawned on me that I wasn't the same guy anymore, but I would never verbalize that publicly. Tom Brady basically is telling you, Skip, I need help. I'm not the guy. Because it used
Shannon, he always needed something.
No, he didn't. No. But you didn't. That's not what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just imagine if he had this, if he'd had that. The same people that he's throwing to, that when they lose, he needs help. But you never talk about the help he needs when he wins.
I always tell you he's doing it with virtually nothing.
Okay, well,
Three
keep
guys
doing
from
it.
Dorchester.
Well, keep doing it.
Well, at some point in Philadelphia against that ferocious front seven of theirs, it's just hard. The wind's gusting, and you can't find anybody who's open. Mohamed Sanu, you've been the first to say, he doesn't look like he's got much separation speed, right?
All they got a smaller Josh Gordon.
Okay.
That's what he is.
All right, thank you. They're 24th in rushing right now. It won't work. It's just hard to score.
Whoa. That was amazing. It's amazing that teams shut down the run and say we want Tom to beat us throwing the ball.
Is that what you're saying?
Hold on. Because see, what happened is that see, everybody forgot the last half of the season. And everybody forgot the Super Bowl. But they go back. Did you see him? He got 3 3rd and 10s, which is unheard of. We talk about the Kansas City, but he struggled down the stretch, Skip. He struggled in the Super Bowl, Skip. He's struggling now. Did
he struggle in overtime at Kansas City?
See?
Well, come on.
No, Skip.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Have you ever seen anything in the Super Bowl from an all-time great quarterback?
Did he not pull off the game-winning drive? Game-winning drive. He won the game.
Skip,
found a way.
Skip, you're making my point. That's what I'm saying.
Really? So after the first 3 games this year, Pro Football Focus ranked Tom Brady #1, gave it the best grade among quarterbacks.
Yes.
Now Shannon Sharpe is saying in concrete that Tom Brady woke up, washed up after 3 games.
Skip.
Woke up, washed up. The new wash king
Skip.
in the NFL is Tom Brady. He should start using the hashtag washed king.
Yeah,
right?
Hold on. This is also Pro Football Focus says Tom Brady has played the 7th best quarterback this year.
Wow.
That's actually pretty good.
They said he's played better than Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Jimmy Garoppolo, Skip Bayless. You and I both know, if you're a Patriot fan, you can't say he's outplayed Dak Prescott.
Okay, who has the bigger degree of difficulty, Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes? Brady or Mahomes?
Either you playing well or you're not.
Degree of difficulty.
Skip.
Hey.
Let me ask you a question. Give Pat Mahomes that defense. What could Pat Mahomes do if they got him 2 to 3 turnovers every game? Look at Pat Mahomes' numbers with that defense.
Give Patrick Mahomes the New England offense and watch his numbers plummet.
Okay, I just want Coach Belichick. You ain't got to give me nothing. Give me Coach Belichick and let Coach Belichick go grocery shopping for me. That's what I want. I just want Bill Belichick, and I want him to be able to go shopping for me.
Patrick Mahomes after games saying, all I got's little underneath option routes to Julian Edelman?
No.
What? I want to throw it down the field.
Frustration is coming from somewhere.
Exactly. But the fact of the matter is, if anybody can go on record and say Tom Brady, through 10 games, has played the 7th best quarterback in the NFL, better than Sean. That's what they're saying, Skip Bayless. You know that. They say he's playing better than Dak. He playing better than Dak? I want to get you on record. Hold on. Put the camera on him. Let him get his camera. Say it. Say Tom Brady's playing better than Dak Prescott this year.
He will play better than Dak on Sunday.
No. Well, tell me right now.
We're going to see it.
Well, obviously he's not.
That's what Pro Football Focus said. Pro Football Focus said he's playing better than Dak.
Would I take him over Dak going forward through the rest of the year? Yes, I would.
No.
Yes, I would.
Pro Football Focus said Tom Brady has outplayed Dak Prescott, Pat Mahomes, and D. Watson.
Okay.
That's it.
So, you betting against Tom Brady the rest of the way? They're going to miss the playoffs? What are they going to do? I want to know. I'm putting you on record.
All I said is he hasn't played
I heard you say
yesterday,
well, you can't.
But if they don't go all the way
down the stretch,
it's not a success.
Yeah.
It's not a success. I mean, it's just we're so used to him controlling the narrative and the positivity. This is coming from somewhere.
Well, when you get old,
there's more brewing.
You can't control that narrative over Father Time.
Ah, okay.
Shannon Sharpe said Tom Brady's old, over the hill, washed up.
That dude
I want it on the record. On the record.
No mercy. No mercy.
Dak Prescott threw for 444 yards and 3 touchdowns in the Cowboys' win over the Lions on Sunday. The coaching staff is letting the offense run more through Dak in the passing game than Zeke in the running game. Randall Cobb, who had a season-high 115 receiving yards on Sunday, spoke highly of his quarterback, saying, quote, I think he's just continuing to prove people wrong. A lot of people don't realize how good he actually is. So, Shannon, maybe he's talking to you.
Yeah.
Is Cobb right?
I'm going to talk back to it. it here. Hold on. So, he's good after the Lions game. I didn't hear Randall Cobb say this after the Jets game. Did people not realize how good he was after that game? What about Minnesota?
Yeah.
You know what, Jenny? You know what? You know what, Jenny?
By the way, he was great against Minnesota.
Whoa. It's my turn. I'm talking.
Well, you asked.
I didn't ask you.
Somebody had to answer.
No, I had to ask you.
Yeah.
Didn't get the win, though.
Hold on. What about New Orleans? Why didn't Randall Cobb mention how good Dak Prescott is, and people do not realize there was an opportunity right there against New Orleans, against the Jets, the Minnesota, the Green Bay, when you're down 7-0, 14-0, 17-24. Was he not good? Oh, so let me get this now. After you go get $115, catch you a tub, Dak throws for 444, people don't realize how good he is. The Cowboys got 6 wins. The Giants, they beat the Giants. Washington.
So what's your point? He's not that good?
No.
Well, yes, it is.
My point is, Skip, it's easy to say that after a win. I'm asking, was he not very good? Did people not realize how good Dak Prescott was after those 4 losses? Talk then.
Okay. Tell me when it's my turn.
It's not your turn just yet. You keep interrupting me.
Keep asking questions.
I didn't ask you no questions. You interrupted me and
just
asked
like
me questions.
screaming
Keep
questions.
pausing. Jump it in.
You ask me, are you saying he's not good? It's not your turn. You don't have the floor. I got the floor. When Dak can constrict, we're going to find an opportunity. Now, I want that same energy around the car when you play on Sunday. I want that energy.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to, after the game, I want you to say people don't realize how good Dak is. That's what I want you to get. Because
I want that same energy on the field. Thank you.
when you
like at kickoff.
How about this? When you can consistently string together beating 2 or 3 playoff caliber teams, holla at your boy. Your boy right here, holla at me. But until then.
Okay, what is he? Sum him up. He is what? Average? You've called him below average many times on this show. What is he?
I'll take Russell Wilson. I'll take Lamar Jackson. I'll take Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
I'll take Patrick Mahomes. I'll take Aaron Rodgers. I'll take Drew Brees. Should I go on, or do you want me to stop?
Okay, so you think he's middle of the pack. Is that what you said?
That's what I said, Skip.
Well, it is.
You asked
you said, do you want me to go on? Yes, I do. Middle of the pack? I do. I want you to nail it down. I think he's about the 18th best quarterback in
I don't believe.
football.
I believe he's a fringe. He's on the verge of cracking the top 10.
Oh, so he's 15?
Oh, my goodness.
Well, what is he?
It's your turn to talk.
Randall Cobb made a staggering statement that rang shockingly true to me because people don't realize how great this kid is. He's still a kid, but if this were just a rare hot streak in his 4th season, you got me on that. But I'm going to dig in again, and I'm going to say it for the 1,000th time on this show. Dak Prescott is simply the most over-criticized, underappreciated quarterback I have ever closely observed in all my years. And it's a lot of years, never seen anything like Dak Prescott, because you just lay in wait to see one little mistake and say, aha, that proves it.
No,
he's not even average.
Skip, I gave the man an A++.
I have been right about Dak Prescott from the start. When as a 4th-round draft choice, I said, that guy's better than Tony Romo. I can take him to my bank. I could never take Tony to my bank because he might take a detour. He might throw it to the other team.
He might steal some money at your bank.
Yeah, he just might. I'm going to reiterate briefly for everybody, just to put this in big picture perspective. As a rookie, 4th-round pick, Dak Prescott simply won Offensive Rookie of the Year and made the Pro Bowl. That's as a rookie. Is that good? I think that's pretty good. He led the league in QBR the whole year, all the way to the last game, in which they only let him throw 8 passes because he only played a couple series, and he barely lost the QBR lead just because of that, because they didn't need the last game because they had already clinched. In his first 3 years in this league, he led the whole league in game-winning drives. In his first 3 years, he set the all-time record for passing completion percentage of any quarterback ever in his first 3 years. Is that good? I mean, it's pretty great. Last year, he made the Pro Bowl, and over the last 10 games last year, he led the whole league in completions. Is that good? I don't know. But I kept hearing from across the table he can't throw. So all he's done this year, the first 10 games, is to lead this league in QBR. He's tied for 2nd in touchdown passes with a receiving core that is tied for 2nd in drops. Put those numbers together. That's pretty great. He is putting up MVP numbers for a team that is struggling at 6-4.
Is he a part of that team?
Because it can't run the ball, can't stop the run, can't stop the pass, can't take the ball away. So it's a very flawed football team except for the quarterback.
Oh, okay.
And yet Randall Cobb had to say after the game what really needed to be said. People still don't realize how good this guy is.
Well, then why didn't he say it after Minnesota? Why didn't he say it after the Saints or the Jets? Why not then?
You said the next day after Minnesota, best game I've seen Dak play. I believe that's what you said.
Well, why did you say that? I said it.
Okay.
I said it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, in the end, he's all they have. And And the little slot receiver knows that, so he's just trying to make the point. People just don't realize.
No, he tried to get more passes. That's what he tried to do, Jenny. He tried to get fed more. You can't fool me.
So you said after the Jets game, he brought them from 21-3 down.
He got them 21-3 down.
Within a 2-point conversion of tying the game and sending it to overtime, and Jason Garrett got mugged on the play.
No, he didn't.
By Marcus May. It was just an obvious pass interference.
Skip, you got me in this mess.
Well, he didn't. The defense did.
Oh, the defense. So let me ask you a question. Okay, the defense.
They made Sam Darnold look like Patrick Mahomes.
I get all of that. The defense gives up a touchdown. It's 7-0. Dak Prescott comes on the field. He does nothing. Where is Dak's responsibility or culpability for not scoring but 3 points in the first half?
Okay, remember, he has not had Amari for all the year. It's on and off, in and out. At Detroit, he had him for 41 of 75 snaps.
Okay, he had him in the New Orleans game.
Yep.
Okay, what about that?
Okay. What about the Jets game? He didn't have either tackle, so they were all, Greg Williams just sending the house at him every time. And he had no Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup dropped 3 big balls in that game. Who are you going to blame that on? Dak?
Skip, you see what I'm saying?
Help me out.
No, I'm not. All I'm saying is that what you're making my point. Because, in other words, Dak needs the hedge surrounding him that the devil told God that if you remove the hedge from Job, he will curse his very maker. So if
that must be the only Bible book you read, because you just keep bringing up the story every day.
Because it's applicable to Dak.
Read Leviticus, Deuteronomy.
You guys are good.
Genesis. I don't know.
Leviticus got some stuff in there that,
I know.
You don't want to read that one. But anyway, Skip, here's the thing. My point is because what makes it applicable to the situation, well, if you give him 2 of the best tackles in the game, you give him his best wide receiver, and if Zeke can run the football and the defense play lights out, Dak can do that. No!
He's been doing it with no help.
No, he ain't. But when they lose, you blame the defense. When they lose, you blame Zeke.
Well, you got to have some defense.
Oh, now you got to have some defense. If he's that guy, if he's that guy.
Well, it's like the Brady argument. Brady's just doing it with nothing, with mirrors.
When I tried to explain to you, my homeboy was doing what he was doing when his defense giving up 35 points a game, you tell me if he's as good as you say he is, he has to overcome that. If Dak is what you said he is, overcome that. We shall overcome.
Who's got the best weapons, the best receiving weapons in all pro football? Patrick Mahomes. Oh, he won the MVP. Oh, that makes sense.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If I were to take Patrick Mahomes and put him in Dallas offense with that offensive line and Zeke, and you put Dak Prescott in Kansas City with that offensive line, I believe the weapons there. I believe in Reek. I believe in Mecole Hardman and Travis Kelce. What you think?
MVP. Yep. He's already putting up MVP numbers. Seriously, if you lead the league by far in QBR and you're leading in yards passing, those MVP numbers,
6 and 4?
Well, again, okay. How did it get to 6 and 4?
Because that was Brett
because they took the ball out of his hands at the end of the Vikings game. They did. Yeah. Simple as that. That's one right there.
You know why?
That'd be 7 and 3.
Why you got to be 7 and 3? You played the Jets with Sam Darnold. The man just come. He would just have. They said he weighed 106 pounds. He had mono for a month.
Yep.
And then Teddy,
you know what?
Over trouble rules.
You know what? If Dak could play linebacker, we might have something.
Dak need to play linebacker.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened in New Orleans?
Because I don't know where my star linebackers are.
If you don't mind me asking. Okay, what about New Orleans?
Yeah, it was a tough game because their defense at home is really good.
I just need to know why Dak Prescott only gave me 10 points. If he that dog you telling me about.
Did he cough it up? Did he fumble it? Did he throw picks?
He didn't put the ball in the end zone. He didn't do that. He didn't do that.
The Browns are attempting to move forward after the Myles Garrett brawl last Thursday night. Head coach Freddie Kitchens said the organization is supporting Garrett despite what Kitchens called a, quote, bad lapse in judgment. Others defending Garrett have said that video of the fight shows Mason Rudolph kicking Garrett in the groin, and fellow Browns defensive lineman Sheldon Richardson didn't shy away from putting some blame on the Steelers quarterback. Take a listen.
I was protecting himself, though. I don't blame him. Guy keep rushing me even with a helmet off. He's asking for it, so just leave it at that. If a guy scratching at your face, what you gonna do? If that's your child, what would you do? The helmet was overboard. Let's get that clear. It's overboard. It was. But defending yourself, nah, I'm not. I don't blame him for defending himself at all.
So you feel like Rudolph escalated it?
Of course he did. Of course he did. And antagonize a fight and then claim bully after you get what's coming to you.
Super Bowl champ and Fox Sports college football analyst Reggie Bush with us this morning for this discussion. So when you think about this one, Reggie, Is Mason Rudolph getting a free pass for his role in the fight?
Yeah, I do think he's getting a pass in this role because he was just as much a part of instigating that fight as Myles Garrett was. Now, clearly Myles Garrett took it above and beyond, too far. That was probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in all my years of watching football. But, to say that Mason Rudolph didn't take a small part in that fight, I think would be wrong because I don't know if he was trying to kick him in the groin, but his foot was definitely placed in his groin and maybe even extended. And then also we saw him trying to pull his helmet off in the beginning. And so I understand why and how the fight started. But I also think the other player in this fight is the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? Why are you trying to throw a screen with 10 seconds left on the clock? Because it's your job and duty to also protect the players as well, right? Mason Rudolph has just gotten sacked twice leading up to this last play. 2 times in a row. One was 65, I can't pronounce his last name. And then another one was on a blitz.
Owen Goby.
Yeah, Owen Goby. And so he got sacked 2 times in a row.
Not quite, but it's okay.
Gun.
And then he had 4 interceptions.
Ogunjobi.
There it is. And then he had 4 interceptions. And so he's been having a rough day. And so at that point, I'm just trying to put myself in that position. If I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm going to protect my player. He's already getting beat up all game. They haven't been able to protect him. And then he got sacked 2 times leading up to basically what was going to be the last play, and then that happens. And so I think the Pittsburgh Steelers also have to take as much credibility in this fight even starting by continuing to call pass plays when the game is completely out of reach.
I don't have a problem with Freddie Kitchens or Sheldon Richardson supporting their guy. They should. You should say, look, he made a terrible decision. He made a mistake. He had a lapse in judgment, but he's our guy. We're going to put our arms around him. We're going to support him, whatever the NFL, the punishment they deem necessary. We're going to welcome him back with open arms because that's not the guy that we know that's been in our locker room. But this notion, it's like anything. If someone is pulling at your head, let's just say I have a head full of hair. I got an afro. I got dreads. If someone is pulling at me, I'm going to kick to try to get them up off me. He's grabbing him by his helmet, pulling him. So what am I trying to do? A prime example, if you go back and look at the tape in 1993, it was the 94 season. We're playing the Raiders in a playoff game, Skip, and I was cooking them. Winston Moss, the very Winston Moss that came and sat in that chair. I caught a pass, I think it was my 10th or 11th pass in the first half.
You know exactly what.
I think 10 or 11. I won't really know. Skip, 10 or 11, I was cooking them though. Skip, he tackles me. Instead of just getting up, guess how he tried to get up? He put his hands on my head and pushed himself up.
I hate that. Oh my God.
Yeah, when I tried to punt him. I tried to punt him in the next week.
I hate that.
When it comes to force, you must use reasonable force to diffuse the force that was used against you. Someone reaching at your helmet. Okay, if you shove him to the ground, no problem. That's the force to keep you up off me. But once you hit him in his head, now we see all these videos are talking about, and I don't need to explain it, about excessive force. Somebody shoves someone, let's just say it's an officer, and the force is excessive. Well, he didn't have to do that.
Right.
You need to meet the amount of force that was used against you. That's how it works. Skip, I can't step on someone's shoe. They knock me unconscious and say, well, he stepped on my... Wait, you can't do that. He used excessive force. The amount of force that he used, instigation or not. You know how this works. And people are like, well, he's not what he did. And I get it, Reggie, you calling the plays. But for some reason, Myles Garrett was hell-bent on taking the man to the ground.
Yeah, he was. Well, let me ask you this question then. Because if they're going to try to run that play, don't you think that he has every opportunity to get that sack?
You subject yourself to a hit on the quarterback. When you still throw it in that situation, because normally, Skip, in that situation, you put the backup in, you let him hand the ball off, you run out of time, and you get on out the field. So when you put yourself in that situation, but the amount of force that Myles Garrett used to try to diffuse this situation was excessive. There's force and there's excessive. He used excessive force, and I don't condone that. But if you want to support the guy, Skip, he made a terrible decision. I'm gonna give him that. But when he comes back, that's our guy. Because that's not the Myles Garrett that we know. That's not the Myles Garrett that I've been around for the last 2 to 3 years. But to try to he got what he deserved. Really?
Yeah, no.
Because we lose our stuff when we hear other people say he got what he deserved.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been resisting.
Yep.
So just remember when you say what Myles Garrett did was okay when he used excessive force. Just remember.
Got it. So everybody agrees the helmet was completely over the edge.
Yes.
We all agree
yes.
with that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Reggie Bush makes a good point I have not heard made. I hadn't put it in the context of, wait a second, they call it a screen pass?
Yeah,
with 14 seconds left?
10
of a
seconds.
21 to 7. Well, the play started at
14,
14,
right.
And it's 21 to 7, so the game is over.
Yeah.
Like there's no hope.
Ain't no
here.
14-point play.
And they backed up, too.
Okay. They're backed up. So, given that, they snapped the football and nobody blocked Myles Garrett.
Right.
I don't know why it's a screen pass. So he's unblocked. He is unabated.
By the way, that's 3
quarterback.
plays in a row he getting hit.
Okay. So the ball is gone quickly from Mason Rudolph's hand. And I don't know what possessed Myles Garrett, but he takes him down with a vengeance, man.
Yeah.
It's rub it in vengeance.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Mason Rudolph clearly, immediately does not love it. He's already kind of fighting back when he takes him down and then rolls over the top of him. I was trying to see if there was a groin kick there, like underneath, like a little rabbit punch, sort of a groin kick, and I can't see one there. But then Mason does a weird thing. He grabs both hands, the helmet, and he's just kind of shaking his helmet. I don't think he's trying to rip it off because I don't know how you could rip it off at that point. But it was weird.
Right.
And so now Myles doesn't love that. So now it escalates, and once he stands up, then the kick is a cleat in the thigh, just trying to push him off.
Right.
But he reaches down and snatches the face mask.
Right.
And with the chin strap buckled, he rips the man's helmet off.
Right.
That's pretty dangerous act right there. Boy, you know how he's one of the strongest guys in the league.
Because, Skip, here's the thing. You control the head, you control the body.
Yeah.
Because what's the first thing when guys with linemen are standing, what's the first thing they grab?
Yeah.
The helmet. They grab their face mask.
Yep.
You ain't going to... I'm driving a car.
And what's the most call penalty now in the league? It's like hands to the face.
Yes.
They will not let you go hands to the face.
No.
Well, this is ripping the guy's helmet off.
Right.
Okay, so friends of mine, friends of the show, keep texting me saying you guys are missing the point because it's a runaway internet viewpoint, social media viewpoint, that this kid, Mason Rudolph, is getting a huge pass
Right.
here
Yes, sir.
that he instigated.
Yes, sir.
Okay, again, Myles Garrett, quote unquote, started it. That's just me. The first overreaction was his because he takes him down with a little too much sauce on it. You know, like he's rubbing it in.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so now Mason Rudolph's a competitor, maybe kind of a crazed competitor. So once you rip his helmet off, his manhood is being questioned now because what are you going to do about it, kid?
So full display.
Okay.
For the whole world.
Yeah.
And so he's got to protect his manhood and his place in the locker room, he's got to go after his own. He took your helmet off.
Right.
You better go get your helmet from that man, right?
That's interesting.
Okay, so you have to go after him, even though you are asking for it now. And again, but the whole idea of you antagonize to start with, said Sheldon Richardson, and then you're claiming bullying.
Right.
Well, when he's claiming bullying is he ripped your helmet off and then he smashes you over the head with it.
Right.
Okay, well, that qualifies as bullying because who's the bigger man here? Who's the larger man? Well, obviously, Myles Garrett, you should be picking on somebody your own size instead of this skinny quarterback, right? Okay, so...
beating a quarterback up is not going to get you a whole lot of brownie points.
not
You
at
ain't going to get no credit in the locker room.
But did Mason Rudolph get a brownie point or two in his locker room by chasing down his helmet?
I'd say. You were like, okay, you stood up to the guy.
You got some dog in you. You got a little dog in you.
But
A little dog. Just a little dog.
Little dog.
Okay.
But it's the little dog Skip to do all that yapping. It's the big dog, like, you know, I'm sizing it up. It's the little dog that just run up on
I
any
agree with
dog.
you. But from my heart, look, if Mason Rudolph were out of line, I think people know me, I would be all over him.
Yeah.
I don't think he was way out of line. Maybe he pushed back, fought back a little too
No,
hard.
I don't think he was way out of line.
But I don't think he's getting a pass here. Should he have been suspended a game? I don't think so. But I didn't think the center for the Pittsburgh Steelers should have been gone for 3 games.
I just think the force that Myles Garrett used to try to diffuse the situation, to say, get up off me, was unnecessary.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. The force that he should have used. Now, if he shoves him to the ground, Skip, I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
But when you take the man's helmet off, you snatch it off his head, and then you cream him over the head with it.
That's when it's too much.
And how bad it could have been.
Yes.
Is the scary
It could have been a lot worse. That's the thing that makes it scary.
Okay,
It could
so
have been so much
when
worse.
Miles goes to New York and pleads his case to, I think it's James Thrash in this case,
it's
not
tomorrow,
our man Derek Brooks,
Right.
but James Thrash is going to be in New York. Do you think he has, so to speak, a leg to stand on groin kick? I don't see it.
I think the only thing that could come away from that meeting is possibly Mason Rudolph, or him saying, listen, Mason Rudolph was just as much of a culprit in this instigating this fight as I was. And I think that's the only thing he can come away from in this fight.
Yeah, I don't see, because Skip, they're still talking about it. Yeah. The next day they was talking about it on every network. They don't even talk sports. And this was a topic.
That is true.
It was the
everywhere.
worst look of the NFL.
Yeah. It's the look of the NFL that is so careful and
in the
conscious
100th
about
anniversary.
their image. So conscious about that. But an interesting discussion nonetheless, and we'll probably hear more about that after he, pleads his case about that indefinite suspension tomorrow.
No mercy.
So the Cowboys are coming off a big win against the Lions despite only 45 rushing yards from Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke has underwhelmed this year after getting his big payday before the season started. Elliott is not in the top 5 in rushing touchdowns or rushing yards through the first 11 weeks of the season for the first time in his career. So Reggie, how do you explain what has happened to Ezekiel Elliott?
Well, when you get the bag, all eyes on you, right? You get that bag, all the eyes on you. Yeah. Not only just from viewership, the critics, but also from an opposition standpoint too, right? Because I think with the narrative has always been with the Cowboys to have success against them, you want to stop Zeke first, right? But now that he's also got the bag too, now the pressure's on top, right? Everybody's focusing on him. And so the one stat that I look at is telling is yards after contact, because that's been the thing that Zeke has been known for. You talk about his body lean and how he runs with the best body lean you've ever seen. But the other thing he does well is he breaks tackles. And it's yards after contact. And last year he led the league with 949. This year he's 8th with 566. And so that is the one thing I've always looked at and said that for a running back, and we have short careers in this league, anytime you start to lose whatever that superpower is, that's when people's eyes start to really focus in on, what it is that you're not doing right, and that's the yards after contact. I'm not saying he's not doing it right, but he's not producing as much, right? And breaking the tackles, the body lean, that's the thing that I've always looked at as Zeke as being special. That's his superpowers, on top of not getting injured, because he is extremely, extremely durable for a back that takes that many hits, that gets that many carries. Right? He is the workhorse week in and week out. And we're going on year 4 now of that kind of contact and that many carries. And so let me say this, it is hard as hell to stay at the top in the running back position. And it is extremely...
At what time in your career, what year did you suddenly wake up one day and say, man, I just can't take the hits anymore. I'm losing some of my explosiveness.
I think it was after my second year in Detroit. So this might have been year 7 or 8. And I got injured. I was dealing with a high ankle sprain because the year before that, me and Joique Bell had set records for the most yards produced from a running back duo standpoint. But after that last year in Detroit is when I really started to notice from the high ankle sprain injury that I just wasn't recovering as fast, right? I wasn't bouncing back as fast as I normally do. And that's when I started to notice where I started to take a little bit of a decline in my career.
Right?
Well, it happens. I mean, you start to get dinged a little more, and the dings, they start to last a little longer because you can't come back as quick. Skip, you get hurt one game, and you're like, by Wednesday, Thursday, they give you Wednesday off. By Thursday, you start to feeling better, and then Friday, you're like, man, I'm good to go. And then all of a sudden, Wednesday, Thursday, linger Friday, you're like, hell, I'm missing the whole week. I'm missing the whole week of practice. I'm just playing and not even practice, just playing and playing. Yeah. Skip, but I still believe that if Dak can continue to play the way he's playing, you'll see Zeke numbers revert back because they're going to have to start playing coverage, and they're going to have to okay, we got to get pressure on the quarterback. Right now, Dak is having time to throw the football because they're holding in there because they don't want Zeke to run. Just like all these analytics and next-gen stats, teams have these also. And what the stats have shown for the first 3 years is that if you can control Zeke, you can control the Cowboys' offense. Well, Dak is doing a great job of destroying that narrative because what we've seen is that Zeke hasn't been Zeke, and they've still been able to win games. But it's going to take him, Skip, doing against playoff caliber teams for him to really convince teams that Dak has arrived in that area and that he can carry the Cowboys. I mean, doing it against He doing it again. The Giants and Washington, the Dolphins. Nah, the Lions. Nah, you ain't convincing nobody. You ain't convincing nobody you've arrived.
Yeah.
Do it against the Saints. Do that thing against Minnesota. Do it against Green Bay.
Are you talking about Dak or Zeke?
I'm talking about Dak.
Okay.
I'm talking about Dak because when you can control Zeke, for the next gen stats and the analytics says if you can control Zeke, you can control the Cowboys. And what we've seen is that we haven't seen a whole lot. We seen one game here or there because even though they bottled up Zeke against Green Bay, they did lose. He threw 4-3, they lost. Even though he threw for a ton of yards against the Jets, they lost.
Yeah. And so, even in those games that you're talking about, the Saints, the Vikings, the Patriots, they lost all those games, right?
Yeah.
Those were the games where Zeke was held to under 100 yards rushing.
So Detroit, holding him against Detroit, because what we see against Minnesota. He had an opportunity against Minnesota, what'd he do?
What did who do? You mix me up with all
Dak.
your who's.
Yeah.
Dak played maybe his best game of the year against the Vikings, and the ball got taken out of his hands at the end of the game. That's why they lost. Or it would have been 31-28 Dallas.
But it
would have
wasn't.
been.
Kirk Cousins was going to drive him back down the field.
Cousins been playing great.
I've been saying this for a month on this show, and I'm doubling down today. I'm horrified by what I don't see from Ezekiel Elliott after he got $50 guaranteed million to sign. Once upon a time, when you got drafted second overall, you got a bag, but it wasn't like this bag, right?
I wasn't like, I didn't get 50 guaranteed.
No, 50 guaranteed.
We got 50.
He is by far the highest paid running back in the league.
Yeah.
And going to Detroit, I'm thinking, please snap out of it. Whatever funk you're in, slump you're in, if it's this or that, something off field, just snap out of it. Detroit was ranked 26th in stopping the run.
Yeah.
Zeke went 16 times for a grand total of 45 yards. Do the math on that. That's less than 3 yards a carry.
It is.
It won't work.
Nope.
Especially when 11 times you get fed the ball on 1st and 10. 11 times on first down they said, here, do this.
Skip everybody, everybody knows that's a run down.
Yeah.
So
you better throw that ball.
Yeah.
The stats are screaming something is wrong or different about Zeke. I think something's wrong here. I don't know. The picture is screaming to me. My TV is screaming to me.
Yeah.
Ain't right. Not who you used to be, because I used to see him attack defenses with this supreme athletic arrogance of, I'm just better than you all, you know what.
Yeah.
All of y'all. I'll just run over and through all of you. And he did it for 3 years. He didn't do it for 1 year. He did it for 3. He would have led the league in rushing 3 straight years, if not for a 6-game suspension in year 2. And I saw contagious rage that would turn into just dominating joy when he reached the end zone, and he would just howl to the heavens and do this because he was dominating pro football. Now he looks like he's plodding in Cabo San. He looks like he's lost his edge, his confidence. You hand it to him, and he's tiptoeing to the line of scrimmage. I'm like, just body lean him. Just explode up into the hole. Because you used to carry people for 5, 6, 7 yards. I'm not seeing that guy anymore.
But you
and
see,
what horrifies me is, did Jerry overpay at a time when his shelf life was starting to expire? It's possible.
Well, let me say this, because when I got to Detroit, going back to the same narrative, I had Scott Linehan. Scott Linehan recruited me to Detroit. Scott Linehan runs the ball really, really well.
All right. Well, that's who he was his coordinator for 3 years.
That's who he had for those 3 years.
Right,
he was leading
fair.
the league,
Good
right?
point.
So I wonder how much of that he's affected by the new offensive coordinator, the new game plan. Are they running those same type of runs? Because what you're saying to me is that he got the ball on first down 11 times in that game. Everybody knows that's a rundown. And so if you think that's
they've known it for 3 years, and they just fed the beast for 3 years, and they couldn't stop him.
Is it becoming too predictable?
You could argue, except his carries are actually up this year from last year under Scott Linehan. He's 194 through 10 games versus 191 through 10 last
I will
year.
say this. It's not about how many carries you get. It's about the efficiency of those carries.
Has the offensive line lost its edge? I don't know.
Skip, blocking? You know they're not as dominant as they once were. So you've seen more times than not the opposition control the line of scrimmage.
They appear to be pass blocking a little better than their run blocking, right?
Yeah.
So, again, sometimes, this is just, I'm doing deep psychology here. Sometimes you get paid like you never thought you'd ever get paid. You lose just a little bit of edge, drive, commitment, whatever that little thing is in the back of your mind. and I'm going to throw this out because it's been a recurring theme with this young man. He's had all kinds of off-field issues. Is there something behind the scenes that's troubling him we don't know about? Because he doesn't look hurt to me. He's never on an injury report, to your durability point.
Right. Okay.
He's incredibly durable. But is it the Earl Campbell syndrome is kicking in year 4, where Earl just took too many hits too quickly?
Guys are starting to stick on you a little bit more.
Right. Just a little bit more.
But here's the thing: you can run the contact when you're young, but after about year 3, year 4 skip, and you still run the contact. Guess what happens? You don't run out of contact.
Running the contacts hurts, man.
It does.
Yeah.
Like it hurts. It's like MMA fighters. Who wants to do, like they said after Conor got his mega millions against Floyd?
Right.
And Dana White saying, who wants to get up and get hit in the face after you've made $100 million? Now Zeke's got 50 in the bank, guaranteed. Not in the bank yet, but it's guaranteed he'll get it. And maybe he wakes up in the morning and says, man, I don't know if I want to do that.
No, but Skip, if you're wired correctly, you see a lot of guys. You see Aaron Donald and you see the Watt. You see they don't lose that desire and hunger. You want to prove that you're worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to hear Zeke get mad one day in one interview and just blow up and say, okay, that's it. It's over. I'm promising you, this weekend, you watch what happens this Sunday. Watch what I do. I've not heard any anger out of him whatsoever.
Here's the thing, though, Skip. You can write all the checks you want to, but you better have that front five to be able to cash it for you.
I thought he did.
And that offensive coordinator, too.
Because remember, the front 5 got their bags, too.
Yeah, they got big bags.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you'll hear some anger soon, Skip. I know you're wanting it.
No mercy.
The Clippers beat the Thunder 90-88 last night thanks to Paul George's go-ahead three-pointer in the final 30 seconds against his former team. But Clipper fans still haven't gotten a chance to see what the PG-3 Kawhi duo looks like, PG-13, looks like, since Leonard has sat out the past 3 games with a knee contusion, which may or may not be just the new code word for load management, which I'm hearing a lot from lately, and I just don't know how I feel about it. So we're now joined by Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard. What's going on, Chris, with Kawhi? What's going on?
Well, what I'm told is that the Clippers are fine with his load management. And when he met with them, when they recruited him, it was like, this is a part of what I do, and they were cool with it, So and part of it is they see how hard he works. Like, he's at practice, he's engaged, what I'm told, and then away from the team, he's with his group, and they're doing game stuff, working on his game, his conditioning, and whatever management of his body is necessary. But this, I think, is beyond load management.
I do.
I think this is load management is you miss one of the back-to-backs. This, I think, is legit. Now, I don't think it's a serious injury, but I think he was going to miss the New Orleans game, but to miss these last 2 is a legitimate bruise. And that leads me to my main point. My concern is not the load management. My concern is that for as big and strong, as tough as Kawhi Leonard is, he apparently is incredibly fragile, his body. If you look at his first 4 years of his career in San Antonio.
Agreed.
He averaged 63 games a year.
It was always something.
Right. And what they'll tell you there is that he felt like he had to be 100% to play. And if he wasn't, little nicks, bruise, whatever, he wouldn't play. Then he plays, in his 8 years, he's played more than 70 games twice. Then, of course, he has the injury against Golden State in the playoffs, plays the 9 games. Last year, you do load management. You only play 60 games, and you're still hobbled in the playoffs. Now, he was great through the playoffs, but he was hobbled. And now, here it is, you're load managing, and then you still come down with a knee bruise. So my concern, if I'm the Clippers, is at any moment, this guy's body might give. And so I've come to the point where I'm actually fine with his load management because I actually think he needs it.
Right.
But I'm concerned that his body may not be able to hold up.
Right.
But quick point of order. To my knowledge, no surgeries in his career. I don't know of a surgery. This and that and little this
things.
and little of that, but not a surgery.
Right.
So just for perspective.
Right.
If I'm the Clippers, I would be worried long term because it looks like there's something degenerative in their skip. Because like Chris says, okay, we understand that he's not going to play the front end of the back-to-back, or he's going to miss the back end of a back-to-back. But to miss the beginning and the middle and the end, so there's 3 straight. After, like Chris said, the time that he took off last year, he didn't. No, there was no. He didn't play in the Worlds. He didn't do any of that. And here we are again. Nursing these injuries. Is this something that's long term? That okay, they could. He signed a 3-year deal, win a championship in the first 3 years. But is this something? Is he going to have a 13, 14, 15-year career, Skip? It doesn't look like that. I just don't see that. And even with load management, he's missing time. He's missed a third of the games already.
It's good work if you can get it.
Yeah, good work. That day job. Y'all did load manage me on Monday and Tuesday. I see y'all Wednesday through Friday.
Must be nice.
You can can have Tuesday.
You give me Tuesday. Okay.
I'll take Wednesday.
To put this thing to bed, I want to put this to bed. And I don't want to hear this no more. To be considered the best player in the world, you need to play.
I do agree.
You need to play. But you can see the best player in the world tonight at Staples. Oh, Goat James. I got a new special.
Playing.
Goat L's on the menu. Just brought them on. Yeah.
It's good.
Goat L. Goat meat. Good, real good.
People want it, I'm sure.
I already brought a.
Goat L's? They don't go together. It's like an oxymoron.
No, the goat and the L made a goat meat like this here. You ain't never had no goat meat?
Completely lost.
You ain't never had no goat meat, L?
I've had goat cheese.
Goat L?
You ain't never had no goat meat?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I use goat in these oils right here. You know,
So
sometimes.
now losers are welcome at your restaurant.
Yeah, I was several of them hot
You're about to go out of business, and then all of a sudden.
The Thunder came. Dak kept me in business for the last 3 years. Dak kept me in business.
Oh,
So now I might have to jump off Dak because a Cowboy might be making a comeback or something.
It sounds like there's some wishful thinking coming from across the table because somebody wants Kawhi Leonard to go away quickly, right? Not that you're wishing injury upon him. You just want terminal load management, so to speak, where you're just not going to ever play, right?
Well, it doesn't look like he go play.
Okay, so if you told me this was an arthritic condition in his knee, but that's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing it's a contusion. So he got a knee bruise, and we know how he is.
This latest one is a contusion.
Because he had a thigh bruise in San Antonio for 73 games.
So if he had a thigh bruise, missed 73, this knee could keep him down for the rest of the season.
Okay. So if you're the Clippers, would you have said no to this guy because he can be fragile?
Nope.
You
had to do the deal.
And beyond that, he's only locked up for 2 years, right? He had 2 years and an option for a third.
Good point.
So he's got all the leverage.
Okay.
They have to do what he wants.
I think he also has all the wisdom because there's the other guy at Staples, the other star, the so-called, the phony goat.
He ain't no phony.
And LeBron James is now hell-bent to prove to the world that he is not the Wash King. He's doing hashtag revenge season.
Yeah, it is.
That he wants to show that he hasn't lost a single twitch of his quick twitch athleticism.
Told you got it back, didn't
After Kenny Smith said after opening night game against the Clippers, Kawhi Leonard made LeBron James look not athletic.
Hey, Kenny,
athletic.
Hey, Kenny, you want to amend that statement? You know,
After that dunk.
You can pull a Gordon
I
Sumner.
liked the dunk. Did you like the
real
dunk?
man and real.
We talked about it yesterday.
I'm saying, don't talk about the dunk.
I
said
think
it
I
was-
just got interrupted.
Oh, my bad. You did. Go ahead, Skip. Go ahead.
Dunk.
LeBron James, I'm warning you, is on a dangerous early season path here because he's now 15th in this league, averaging 35 minutes a game in year 17. We're not even to Thanksgiving yet because he's hell-bent to show us, I'll play every game. He says, if LeBron is healthy, LeBron's playing every game.
Right.
And it's obviously a message sent across the bow of the Clippers like, oh, you got a guy who load manages constantly. I'm not going to load manage. Just remember I said this because it's dangerous idea this is the wrong method. There's no method to this madness.
He went to Wakanda forever. Vibranium, baby.
You need it.
Here's the thing. We can't let Kawhi's fragility infect our thinking concerning other players. Whether it's LeBron or anybody else. The other players can play 75 to 80 games a year and through the playoffs. We can't let, what Kawhi's doing cannot become the norm.
Right.
Okay, it cannot become, he's going to play 50-something games in the regular season, but he'll be ready for the playoffs,
Right.
So LeBron, like you said, he's averaging 34.8 minutes, but that's a career low. I'm sure he's relaxing during off days.
15th in this league right now because everybody's load managing subtly across the board. 15th in the league.
I don't think. Look, his minutes are down. You can rest on off days. I mean, obviously they're practicing, but I'm sure they're taking it easy. And he had a full off season off more than ever. I just don't
Shot a good movie though.
Kawhi's an extreme to the other end, and I think I think Anthony Davis should be sitting out if that shoulder, like if he could sit out 3 weeks and get the shoulder straight, I'd be fine with that.
Real injury.
But LeBron, no, I mean, we can't let this
just
become
remember I said this. Just remember, when he pulls his groin on Christmas Day again, God forbid, I'm knocking on wood.
I don't even want to hear it.
But I'm just saying.
But are we going to say that?
Doing?
Is that going to be because he's playing 35 minutes every night? I mean,
know.
it could just be an injury. Like this load management, look, again, I think he's legitimately injured with the bone bruise or the knee bruise, but let's say he wasn't legitimately injured and he just wants to load manage and play 55 games a year. You then have to ask an ethical question of, is it even fair if one guy can just play 55 games, even though I'm healthy, and then be ready for the playoffs where everybody else is playing 80 games? Like, if you're hurt, you should sit out. If you're not hurt, the league needs to be like, you got to play. Because remember in golf, with the golfer who was injured and couldn't walk the course 10 years ago?
Yeah, the guy that had the circulation.
Norman, was that his name?
Yeah.
And they ruled, look, part of the game is walking the course because the fatigue kicks in and you have to overcome that. If he's
compare golf to basketball.
But that's
I'm just saying,
it's
like,
not the same.
Right, it's not fair if you're going to play 30, 40, 50 games in the regular season. Everybody else playing 80.
That's what it goes.
Okay.
See, goals do
He's
things.
making his own rules.
I'm going to go on record right now. Kawhi will be readier for May than LeBron will be. He just will. He'll be. He'll be.
Let's hope they're both ready.
Jordan in load management.
Right.
He was ready.
Jordan played 82 games at 40 years old.
And my guy is the freakiest of nature.
Your guys played 82 one time.
There you go.
He's always up around 76, though.
Yeah.
77, 78.
Look at all the minutes he got.
You know we're right about Kawhi.
So, no, I don't know you're right. He's been doing this his whole career. It's nothing new, except now he's in the spotlight.
If he's legitimately hurt, I'm fine with it.
And you guys are gloating about a dunk over Bielitsa?
Oh, it
really?
was nasty.
Ooh, can we see it
nasty.
real quick? I gotta see it. I gotta see it.
He caught him about it.
Oh,
Bielitsa.
Why not? The guy wants to gloat. He's the
Bielitsa.
king.
Is that not?
What?
Yeah, let's see it.
What?
Let's
see it.
Come on.
Looking for
Bring us the dunk.
It doesn't matter who it was over.
Come on, dunk it over the 6'10" slow guy. Ow! Oh, and stare him down.
Yes.
Stare down poor Bielitsa.
Now the Nurkic one was better.
You're right. That wasn't one of the best.
Nurkic ain't been back since. You know Nurkic ain't been back since.
You guys are gloating about dunking over a 6'10" guy?
I don't care.
Really?
It's still awesome.
Bielitsa? He can't jump higher than I can jump.
If you're a foreign big man,
stay out of the way.
So you're saying he's ugly American now?
Hey, LeBron.
Well, you know who the Clippers big man is? Zubac.
Oh, he gonna get Zubac.
So I don't want him to get caught.
You know what? Big
He's gonna
Z might
get caught.
just reject him.
Whatever.
Not take it.
But you see, now when Hazonia blocked LeBron's shot.
Hazonia.
Yeah, when he blocked the shot.
Right.
Oh, how could just admit it.
Well, how
just
could
admit
you?
No, you talking about just admit it. It's over.
Well, it was on that play.
He's coming back.
That was at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Big season.
All right,
Wow.
Chris.
Playing.
Always good to have you.
No mercy.
Luka Doncic had himself a game against Skip Spurs last night, dropping 42 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists. In the win, the Slovenian joined LeBron James as the only two players to notch 40-point triple-doubles before turning 21 years old. This was Doncic's sixth triple-double of the season, which has helped Dallas to the fifth best record in the loaded Western Conference right now. So, Shannon, has Luka already turned into a superstar?
He the real deal. Skip. He Holyfield. He the real deal. If the All-Star voting ended today, he and James Harden, I believe, will be the backcourt. And right now, they should be. He's playing unbelievable. James Harden's averaging about 40. And this, Skip, he's fourth in scoring, third in assists, and 10th in rebounding. He leads the league in triple-double with 6 and 13 games. He's the closest thing we've seen to Larry Bird. Since Larry Bird. People don't realize, Skip, Larry Bird was 24, 10, and 6 for a career. 24 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists for a career. He's the closest thing we've seen to that. He real deal, Skip Bayless. I know he didn't do that against Spurs. No, but not with DeJounte Murray, that defensive stopper. Oh, I know. What about that? And DeRozan and Brian Ford? Whoa. Time out. I know good and well. He do that to get 42-point triple-double. Only he and LeBron James. Skip, look. You at the age of 20, you get a triple-double, you get 20 points, 10 rebounds, 11, 12 assists. That's one thing. You do this at 40, get 40? Yeah, you real. He the real deal, Skip Bayless. He for real. And you have to deal with it. You the deal with it. I don't know what else to tell you, but somebody in Hebrew trouble dealing with this young man for the next 15 years because he can do it all. He can score. He can play with his back to the basket. He can shoot. He can handle it. He's fundamentally sound. And that's what we see from a lot of European skips. They are fundamentally sound. Can handle the ball. That step back three is next to James Harden because he be stepping back, letting that thing go from 28.
Oh.
You saw it last night against you.
Tell me when you're finished because I'm getting bored.
Still going.
I need you watch every last one of the Spurs games. You see that last night what he did to y'all? He did that on DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray is on a minutes pitch count where he can't play many minutes because Pop won't let him because he's coming off ACL reconstruction.
The minutes that he did play, he got cooked.
It's Bryn Forbes, and they got the switch onto Bryn Forbes, and Doncic made a rare three. He does have a little clutchness to him, but he made a rare three. He's now shooting 31% from the three-point line. That ranks 137th in the NBA. Yet he's tied for fourth in three-point attempts.
Oh, wow.
So through 13 games, he's already missed 81 threes, but he made one against my Spurs, who right now are an eyesore to watch because they did this last year. Last year at this time, they went to Minnesota and lost by 40 points. They will round back into shape.
No, they won't.
As DeJounte Murray rounds into shape.
No, they won't.
They did last year, and they took Denver to the last shot of Game 7.
You know the West is better this year. The West is even better.
Okay, but this is about Luka Doncic. I said before his draft, just watching clips on the internet, I loved his offensive artistry. I love his passing creativity because he does have that rare gift of passing feel for the game. He's got the knack, the vision, the anticipation, and the unselfishness to pass the basketball. And I said I was pretty sure he would be better than Trae Young because I saw every dribble of Trae Young's at the University of Oklahoma. And I just couldn't see enough because he's just too little. He's
doing big things, though. Now, Trae Young still balling. Now, he might not be as good as
Here's the
Luka.
problem I have with both of them.
Okay.
Neither one of them plays a lick of defense. And you just offended me, maybe the worst you've ever offended me on this show. You actually put Luka Doncic in the same breath with the great Larry Bird.
Yeah, you did.
Larry Bird could defend when he needed to defend, and he could disrupt at all times on defense. Luka cannot do either one.
Yeah, they put Larry Bird on the worst offensive weapon. The worst offensive player for the opposing team.
Steal the ball.
Yeah.
Bird steals the ball.
Yeah.
Remember that?
With Isaiah. Sorry, Zeke, you threw it right to it.
Yeah.
But anyway, Skip.
What happened when the Lakers visited Dallas on that fateful Friday night 2-3 weeks ago, whenever it was? Do you remember this game?
Yeah.
The post-game theme in the Laker locker room was, whoever Doncic was covering, we fed him.
Oh.
If it was LeBron, we fed LeBron. If it was KCP, he got the ball and he got to shoot it. And what happened at the end of the game? Dwight Howard, of all people, smashed him upside the head a little bit, just put him in his place, and Luka just checked out. He checked out of the rest of that game.
It's not be that bad at check out.
He gave him a little shot to the head, and that was the end of that.
Stop.
Because he does not have that dog in him. He doesn't have that killer instinct in him. I'm sorry.
You keep on talking about, we pick and roll, they was talking about LeBron, and they kept putting LeBron in him. But that ain't no slouch. They get against LeBron.
It was anybody, whoever's on. Danny Green, it's your turn.
Stop it, Skip.
Seriously, it was. That's what they all talked about in the locker room after the game.
We've been
Kyle Kuzma said, our theme of the night was whoever Doncic is covering, go to him.
Skip, you know that guy's the closest thing to Bird. Now, I ain't say he's Larry Bird. He got a ways to go. Skip.
Right now, Luka Doncic ranks in defensive win shares 252nd.
Skip. If they had a defensive win shares with Bird,
he couldn't guard you.
Skip.
He couldn't.
Skip.
You're no-knees self.
Let me ask you. So let me ask you a question. Where's James Harden rank?
I don't care. We're talking about Luka Doncic.
But I'm saying, Skip.
And by the way, James Harden is taking it up to another offensive level. I've never seen anything like this in my life. I'm not sure Luka Doncic is taking it to a level we've never seen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing.
Skip, here's the thing. Sports is about being a liability or an asset.
Okay.
And the thing for people...
You said twice today. Did you read that last night?
No, that's me.
Okay. All right.
And people are like, well, Shannon Sharpe, Shannon doesn't do a whole lot of blocking. But I was more of an asset in the passing game than I was a liability in the run game.
Okay.
So Luka Doncic, he might be 259 out of 400 players. But look at that offensive repertoire.
Look at him at the free throw line, shall we? He's down there last year in LeBron territory. His first year in the league, he shot 71%. And one night against my Spurs last year, it was March the 12th. He shot 1 for 9 from the free throw line. That's even worse than LeBron's ever. LeBron's never had a 1 for 9 night. Listen, no superstar can be 1 for 9 from the free throw line. Jordan was never even thought about being 1 for 9. Larry Bird, are you kidding me?
Some things you just accept.
I think the most Larry ever missed in a game was 2 free throws.
Skip Bayless, you think I'm gonna throw? Do you actually think I would throw Nicole Murphy out of bed for eating cookies? Some things you just accept. That man is so talented with his offensive game, his scoring, his assists, his rebounding. I don't care about no free throws. I don't care if he shot 10% from the 3-point line. So, baby, hey, you need another bag? I run the Target right quick and get you 2 more bags.
I doubt that.
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Some things you accept.
I would throw Nicole out of my bed.
I would.
I just say, cookies? You can eat rice cakes in my bed, but you can't eat cookies.
You call me.
Rice cakes.
When you want to throw, I call you, boy.
No.
Get up all time of night.
She comes up a good amount on this show, too. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
No cookies for anyone.
I don't know what happened.
You trying? Okay.
Nope.
Shannon.
Yes.
31% from the 3-point
Skip,
line.
he's not efficient.
71% from the free throw line.
That's good.
That's not superstar numbers.
Yes, it is.
Sorry.
Hold on. Stop it. Now, you going to nitpick.
Nitpicking.
Skip, the man is 4th in scoring.
Defensive liability.
He's 3rd in assists. You talk about the trip, but hold on. He might do what Russ did for the past 3 years. So if he does that, he's not a superstar?
Russ has got that dog in him. And he's got it in Houston.
Hold on.
It's working.
Hold on. What is Russ shooting from the 3-point line?
It doesn't matter. Well, it really doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
He's been making big ones for them, key ones.
No. James Harden scored 59. James Harden scored 49. James Harden scored 47. Is the difference.
Luka's fun to watch. I will give you that.
He is fun to watch. There's that.
Skip. Ain't no denying it.
I just shot holes.
No, you ain't shot no holes.
Yeah,
but
big
Larry
holes.
Bird, I mean,
hold on. I said he's the closest thing to Larry. But Skip, this guy's in his second year now.
I'm close to Larry, too. I'm white.
No, that's it.
No mercy.
So the Patriots beat the Eagles on Sunday, but Tom Brady still sees cause for concern. New England has only scored 3 touchdowns in the past 2 games, and Brady vented about the team's inability to put points on the board during a local radio show yesterday, admitting that there's, quote, frustration surrounding the offense and that the strength of our team is our defense and special teams. Pretty telling. Shannon, how far can the Patriots' defense and special teams take them?
They can still get to the Super Bowl because the defense is good enough to carry them. Their special teams is really, really sound. Now, what concerns me is the kicking game. But I think their punting unit, you see, they kept the Patriots. They kept the Eagles pinned down. And Coach Belichick prides himself.
Rookie punter he kept.
Normally it's funny he's a right-footed punter because Coach Belichick really likes left-footed punters because the ball spins differently off his foot.
He can boom it.
Yes, but this guy did a great job of pinning them down. It looks like they're going to get a first-round bye. They're going to get one of those first 2 seeds. And the thing is, he will be asked to do what Peyton did. Skip, Peyton was asked to make 1 or 2 throws a game. The defense wasn't going to let you. You weren't going to get no 30 points against that defense that went to and won Super Bowl 50. You're not going to probably score 30 against this team in Foxborough. Tom will be asked to make 1 or 2 throws. Tom will be asked to get this team from a good play to a great play, from a bad play to a good play, and just don't turn it over. Just don't put the ball in harm's way. Put our defense on a short field. Make them drive the distance because we feel we can make them turn it over or settle for a field goal as opposed to giving them a cheap touchdown, Skip. So for me, do I believe he could this team get to the Super Bowl? Yes. But they will get to the Super Bowl because of defense and special teams and not because of Tom Brady. He will be asked to have a complimentary role like he had in his first year. They won the Super Bowl against the Rams. He was a game manager, and this is where he is in his career, Skip. This is the phase he's in now.
I completely disagree with your concluding point, but I will remind our viewers, as mopey as Tom Brady has been over the last 48 hours, his team is a 6.5-point favorite over my team Sunday in Foxborough. 6.5 points. New England by 6.5 over Dallas. Just let that sink in.
They said they don't believe in Dak Prescott. That's what the odds makers said. Let that sink in.
I will bet you that New England will be favored in every remaining game, including Kansas City at Foxborough. Want to bet on it?
Yeah.
Right here, right now? Fox Bet still has the New England Patriots pretty much a prohibitive choice to win the Super Bowl. I'm looking at the schedule thinking I'm pretty sure that Tom Brady's offense, helped by the defense, will win out. I think this looks like a 15-1 finish to me.
Dak.
Okay, you got Dak.
I trust Dak.
I don't got Dallas's defense because Dallas's defense isn't very good.
But what about
it just turned Jeff Driscoll into Patrick Mahomes. It did.
Hold on, but Jeff Driscoll is mobile. I mean, you got
so
that.
is Mahomes. He impressed me last night.
No, I'm talking about Tom.
Yeah.
You trust Tom's ability to get out of the pocket?
I trust Tom's ability to get a little better and a little better and a little lot better going into 2 home playoff games in which he will make more than game manager plays. Want to bet on it? He always has and always will.
No.
All the way to age 50 or however long he's going to play.
We saw this.
Okay.
And like
keep saying this. I've heard this 3 years from you. I'm warning you.
The last year, the last half, we saw him struggle. And that got overshadowed by everything that he did.
You picked the Chargers to win a playoff game at Foxborough. And what did he do?
Just skip.
33 of 44.
What did he do in the Super Bowl?
Wow.
What did he do in the Super Bowl?
He won it with a game-winning drive.
Tell everybody what his QBR was.
Against the defense that has had his number. Wade Phillips is always, it's always had his number.
I want you to tell me what his QBR was. You love that stat.
Okay. He had a bad game, but
QBR wasn't.
Jared Goff had a worse game.
Okay, let me ask you a question. True. And we saw what he did in the Super Bowl, what he did against the Eagles.
Yeah, but
no
he
touchdown.
won another game.
Now they got Julian Edelman throwing the touchdown for him.
Yeah, and Julian Edelman first should have caught a touchdown pass that hit him right in the hands. So Dallas doesn't play great defense. So Tom,
you don't play great offense.
And at Houston, does Houston play much defense? They're 25th in yards allowed. They just gave up 41 to Baltimore. How about Kansas City? They're 26th in yards allowed. You think Tom will make a couple completions against them? I think he might. At Cincinnati, they're dead last in yards allowed. And then you get to finish against Buffalo, which does have a good defense, but that's in Foxborough. And then you get to finish against
Allen. And Josh Allen.
You think he'll light them up?
Josh Allen, he's running.
Right now, 5 cases, I'll take Brady and company over Buffalo.
No, let's see what you give. That's a long ways away.
Yeah, well. They're struggling. They're now 24th in running the ball, which is terrible. They don't have much of an offensive offense. Watch Tom Brady turn this offense into miracle workers. Watch him just suddenly morph back into playoff Brady.
Well, if he's that Brady, why isn't he doing it now? If he can do that, why not do it now? Why not snap his finger and say, okay, voila?
Did he win?
Yeah,
he won.
Did the Patriots win?
Yeah, boy, he made enough throws to win because he conducted the drive. Did he get him down there?
I just want to know why they didn't put that. Hold on. That's Tom Brady. And you take the ball out of his hands and put it in Julian Edelman's hands to throw the touchdown. That's what you said. You told me, why would they take the ball out of Dak's hand if he's that guy?
If they needed a trick play, it was because Julian dropped the touchdown pass that would have opened the game up, right? Did he not? Cost him 4 points, hit him right in the hands.
All I want to know is why did they take the ball out of the GOAT's hand?
Okay, Shannon, all I know is I picked New England to win the Super Bowl before the season, and I'm standing right pat on them.
I can't not.
Who you got? You still got the Chiefs?
Not the Patriots.
Have you changed?
Not the Patriots.
You changed today from yesterday or the day before?
I did not change anything.
Yeah.
They've been there 4 of the last 5 seasons, so it's kind of hard to root against them. I know we know the number, but he's going to figure it out.
Okay.
It's Tom Brady.
All right.
He's going to find a way.
Yeah.
It's hard to go against him. If
Here we go again.
If I was a betting man, you know. Okay.
No mercy.
LeBron turned in what Shannon would call a virtuoso performance on Sunday, dishing out 12 assists without a single turnover and hitting 6 threes, all with Kobe Bryant sitting courtside in his 17th season. LeBron is averaging 25 points, 11 assists, and almost 8 rebounds per game, all while leading the Lakers to an 11-2 record, best in the NBA. Woo. Wow, those numbers sound good. Shannon, what's LeBron's line tonight against the Thunder?
You saw that spin when he went up back?
Yep.
He spin it like that. He like, got that. Man, that joker that high, Skip. Look at him.
He's got his athleticism back.
What? 26, 12, and 7.
See that? Okay, good.
26, 12, and 7?
Yeah.
Well, what's 7?
Yeah.
Is he having an off night?
Rebound.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's...
26 points, 12 assists.
Oh,
7
so you
rebounds.
got the assist second.
Yeah, okay.
I got that.
Yeah, that's all.
So I want to know, who made this schedule? LeBron James? No, seriously.
Did he have to say? Yeah,
No,
maybe.
So now Oklahoma City has to go do battle with the Clippers, and then they have to come right back the next night, all beat up, and play LeBron's team.
We got a level like that, too.
What?
We got a level like that.
It seems like every team that comes to L.A. has to play the Clippers first.
Yeah.
Then LeBron gets to play them second.
Yeah.
When they don't get to rest. They have to play back-to-back.
Yeah.
So I figure LeBron's going to play high minutes because he's smelling some stats tonight.
Yeah, there you
right?
go. There you go.
38 minutes for LeBron.
We don't chase
tonight.
stats.
Yeah,
We don't chase
Oh,
stats.
you'll be chasing tonight. I got 30 points, 10 rebounds, and 12 assists. I got a triple-double. I got the Lakers by 20 over what's left of those poor Thunder.
Hold on, first of all, you said the man gonna get a 30-point triple-double, they gonna win by 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't chase no stats, Skip.
You don't?
No.
Well, this is the night to do it.
We probably gonna be out by the fourth quarter.
Really?
Yeah, we probably play about 28,
Thunder
30.
don't have anybody who can guard LeBron. And then you already predicted
Nobody in the NBA can
he's
guard
going to
LeBron.
body
So
bag
much.
Steven Adams.
Yeah.
That is it for us.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports, one of one.